podcast, but we were on Theo's last year, and Theo's gets a lot of engagement, a lot of views. Ours didn't do too well. I think Bertcast did all right.
You got not pay attention.
I know I don't.
Not pay attention. Don't pay attention to numbers. Don't pay attention to shit. Don't read the comments.
That's where I messed up. I got called a lesbian so many times. Lesbian.
Mustache.
What? He looks like
Where'd
Matthew
that come
McConaughey.
from?
I don't know.
It might be the chain.
Maybe.
That looks very lesbian-esque.
Thank you.
Not a bad one. It's not bad. It's nothing wrong with being a lesbian.
No, nothing's wrong with being a lesbian. I'm just a heterosexual male.
That's all.
With a wonderful mustache.
I went back to the comments last night, and
don't do that.
And somebody was like, Andrew, come on, man, don't sit with your legs crossed. That was just the latest one.
Why is it always me getting picked on?
Did you sit with your legs crossed in the typical liberal fashion?
I mean,
like the Gavin Newsom style?
Yeah, you can't
just
do that.
chilling.
Yeah. You got a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you get the deep scissor, the deep scissor is like signaling.
The trick is you gotta scoop then.
Yeah.
You gotta get your stuff out the way.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem comfortable.
I've been doing it for a long time.
So you guys you were telling me you're kind of burnt right now. So you guys are fully on the road right now.
Oh yeah, I say that, and then the next moment I'm walking around, I was like, dang, this is fun. But yeah, but usually about this time of the year where we have a couple more months left, it's like, man, we're almost done. Get to be home for a while, more than 2 days at a time.
How long have you guys been on the road for?
To this year, or just in general?
Well, all told.
We started touring in Andrews Acadia in 2018.
And has it been flat out since then?
Pretty much. I mean, we'd
just
usually
little breaks.
Yeah, we'd break in December for Christmas.
Jeez.
And but it's gotten better. This year we started touring in July, which was good because we usually start. We would usually start in April.
When did you end?
We end in December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No.
Well, this last year we started in March with Canada.
Yeah, Canada. But that was like a month. That didn't really count.
How long have you guys been together all told?
This Red Clay Strays got together in December 2016. But before that, Drew was the manager of a cover band, and Andrew was the bass player in the cover band. And
what were you guys covering?
Everything.
Good stuff.
Yeah, just blues, just like really bad blues.
Yeah, we used to run people out.
In country.
Yeah. And how did you guys all get together?
I met Drew through a mutual friend. We were working out in the gym together. I was in high school, and Drew, this guy was like, "Hey man, I got a buddy. He's kind of down on his luck. He's like squatting in my dorm, and I want to give him something to do. I want to give him something to do."
I think I was down on my luck.
Nobody ever does, man. Nobody ever does.
I'm just repeating what I heard. And so Drew had never done anything like that. He had never booked he was trying to be a middle school teacher football coach. That's what he was going to college for. And
why middle school? High school, college, that was the goal.
I know, but
realistically,
never had it.
That's just where I was going to land. 10-4.
Never done anything in the business though, and he just like, what did you say? He's like, I'm gonna do everything I can to help you make it. And I was like 18, and he was like 22, 23, and he had us playing in every single bar on the Gulf Coast, and we didn't know anything about the business either. So the manager booking agent fee is 15%. We didn't know about that, so we cut him in evenly.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and so he'd show up and drink beer at our shows, and he'd always be at our practices, and he was fully committed, and so he got an even cut, and he ended up turning his life around, and he was able to scoot around and buy burgers and not be down on your luck anymore.
Hallelujah.
I think that's impressive. You've never done anything like that, and you stepped up and became a legitimate booking agent and a legitimate manager.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw something I knew that was incredible, and I was like, all right, well, what do I need to do to get this guy in front of people? And I would sit in, like, I work for the equipment staff at South Alabama, and I would sit in the equipment room between washing jock straps and like, you know, setting up cone drills or whatever, and just like put Post-it notes up on the wall and just write numbers down and just call all these people until like somebody picked up or like, hey, like what's the email for booking or whatever, and I'd just book as much as I could.
So it was basically just learning on the job, trying to figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
No experience in it whatsoever.
No.
Wow. That's a cool story.
Yeah.
And it was all just based on your talent.
No, I mean,
I bet it was what you saw, right? It was.
Well,
yeah, that night you met, the night we met, the night I met you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like the first time I heard you on a cell phone recording, I was like,
He's okay.
and then I heard him in person, and I was like, "Oh my God! All right, what? Okay, what needs to happen here?" And yeah, I had no idea. I was just fully winging it, you know.
Wow. Those are the best stories, though.
Yeah.
You know, the best stories are not started in some fucking boardroom somewhere where a bunch of guys sit down with headshots and demos and try to put people together. The best stories happen just kind of like, what? What were you doing? Post-it notes. You just called people? Like, those are the best stories.
We didn't even know how to set up music equipment. Like, we would have our main set up behind us, and so the microphones would be feeding back into the mains. We didn't know what we were doing. We just knew we wanted to play music. So we'd show up to these bars and most of the time run people out and clear the room out because didn't know how to play music that well either. Just guitar amps turned up, and we would show up and just ruin people's evening and clear out a bar. They're trying to watch a football game, and we show up playing Allman Brothers, and just our guitar players just always crank their amps. We did have an old man drummer, though. That was the only thing about that band before Red Clay Strays. So that was, you didn't have to worry about the drums being too loud, I guess, because he was just doing his thing. He ended up quitting when we started traveling more, and that's when we started holding auditions. And we were going to audition this one guy, and he flaked. He couldn't make the audition. We rescheduled him, and he couldn't make the audition again. And then we were like, how did we get in touch with John? When did we audition him?
There's a Ethan who was in Papa's medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
I reached out to him. I was like, man, I know you play drums. That was the best band in town at the time. I was like, I know you play drums. You probably know a good bit of drummers. Like, you know anybody who could use some work? And John was playing in a band called Ryan Dyer Band back home. And he said, they just separated from that band. So John's available. You should get him for a tryout. And I was like, hey, dude, you want to come play with us or whatever? And he showed up, Blair and Skinner, with him and his brother and like an SUV or something.
Yeah, we had
like, this is going to work.
We had the auditions in Citronelle, Alabama, which is like up in the sticks, and he didn't have a phone. So he's like, meet me at the Hardee's at 6:30 or whatever time it was, because we couldn't call him once he left his house. And so Andrew left. You were driving the Firebird at the time.
Yeah.
You left in the Firebird and met him and brought him back, and we auditioned him then. And the audition went great. He showed up with his brother who played piano, and his brother wasn't trying to join the band, but his brother just played with us. And just the first song we played, we tried him out with an original that we were working on, which was a terrible song also. But
Yeah.
Andrew and John locked in immediately, and they hit all the pauses together, and I just remember still being blown away by that, just how quickly y'all locked in, and it still shows today on stage their chemistry. They've got some kind of telekinetic thing going on, I think. Because
the big thing was coming from that old man drummer, and then that's the first time I've ever played with like a real drummer besides my own dad.
His name was Ray.
And me and John, I mean, it's really weird how when we first started, like we know a lot when we played in those bars, it was improvised. You know, we're playing covers, we're not even playing them the right way, and we can hit those pauses without even looking at each other. Like we just know what each other's going to do. So as a bass player, your drummer is your best friend. Even though me and John probably butt heads more than anybody in the band, but that's the relationship.
That is a big part of the problem with a band, is that you guys just get on each other's nerves, right?
I mean, just like any other. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just like brothers.
It's a group of guys, and you're
Yeah.
traveling all year round.
You'll get pissed off at each other for sure. If a band says they don't get pissed off, they're lying, or they just don't like each other for real. But something we actually learned as men was how to talk about your feelings with each other too. Because in the early stages, it was, I had anger issues. I'd just get pissed off real quick.
Was it about the mustache?
No, I didn't have the mustache yet. Maybe that's what it was. I was immature.
You had long hair.
Yeah.
You just guys had to learn how to communicate and set boundaries and
I
be
didn't
cool
talk
with each
about my
other.
feelings growing up as a kid.
Oh.
Supposedly that's not healthy.
No, that's not good.
But John, he would show up hammered to the bus, and I just had to learn to just bite my tongue. Like, you're not going to change somebody's mind. Just let them go and talk about it tomorrow. But we all had things we worked on together, stuff like that.
Well, it's the final product's amazing, and the new album is really fucking good. It's coming out in June of next year. Is that when it's supposed to come out?
We're shooting for summer of next year. We don't really know yet.
The press thing that I got said June of next year. I'm like, this should go out now.
You're probably the only one that's supposed to know that.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Well, everybody knows now.
Yeah. But I mean, we're still working on mixes. Hopefully June is going to be the ticket.
Well, it's
see.
really good. And the final product, you guys are very unique. You have a very unique sound, and it's very fun.
Yeah.
So it's, I know it's got to be a lot of work. Whenever I do shows and I show up at a place and, like if I do an arena, it's just me and my friends. We just have to roll in there and hi.
Yeah.
And I see you guys, you got fucking trucks and this and that. And there's so many fucking people involved. And
Oh, yeah.
it's a lot. There's a lot of moving pieces to keep together. So for you guys to consistently do it, and to bang out amazing music over and over and over again, it says something.
Yeah, man. And we just had to grow together. I mean, even at that rehearsal, we were like, we got one more rehearsal. We got one more tryout with the guy who flaked out on us. And John was like, who is it? And I was like, it's Travis Patch. And he was like, oh, you're going to hire Travis Patch. But I think Travis Patch, he couldn't make the next tryout too or something. And I was like, all right. And then that band played for a couple more months and broke up, and then we hired Zach and just tried out Zach immediately. He just came in shredding, and he was just always a great guitar player. And then that's when we became Red Clay Strays.
Who came up with the name?
My brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not an interesting story at all. We get
No?
asked all the time. No, we were just in that first stage of, like, coming up with a band name's the hardest thing in the world. And we had nothing really that we liked. We had the Dirt Leg Trio, Brandon Lane and the Hurricane.
Yeah. That's my middle name, Brandon Lane.
And then he shot that over.
Yeah. And I didn't like Red Clay Strays. I don't think any of us did.
Brandon Lane and the Hurricane sounds good, too.
Yeah.
We're on the
I
Gulf
might have
Coast.
voted on that.
But Drew came up with that one.
I like that. But Red Clay Strays is great, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You have two great ones to choose from.
If I need to start another band, I have it in the chamber.
God, hopefully not. It seems like once you got it all together and it's working, like, don't fuck that up.
Yeah, man. I don't understand why bands break up. I don't get it.
I don't know how they stay together.
Really?
Yeah, I just can't imagine.
I've had so many. Why do you say that?
Well, because of the internal conflicts, because of the traveling, because of the stress, it just seems like it's very difficult. It's very difficult to manage all these different personalities and to keep everything rolling and keep all the people happy and make sure that everybody feels appreciated and everybody feels like they're doing their part.
Yeah. I think you got to have your mindset correct, man. And for us, it's a God thing. If you are just chasing worldly things, I guess, and worried about me and how I'm getting done wrong or how, he's getting on my nerves, and that's what dictates your decisions, I can see, you're going to walk away from that because people suck and people are always going to fail you at the end of the day. But when you turn it into I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this to fulfill my calling that God's giving me. And then it becomes a selfless thing. He who is greatest among you, let him be your servant, is it just always pops in my head. So it's like, if I want to make this thing work, how can I serve these guys? How, when we'd have to share a hotel room, we would all five of us be like, I'll sleep on the floor. No, you're good. You take the bed. I'll sleep on the floor. We'd have to fight over who gets the floor. You know what I mean? And then once it becomes a selfless thing instead of a selfish thing, you're not, I don't know. And when everybody shares that mindset, we're all worried about one another. I don't really see how you could break up.
Well, that's very unusual, and that sounds fantastic because that's kind of the opposite of most rock and roll bands. Like most rock and roll bands, it is all about, the lead singer or the lead guitarist and who's the most famous, who gets the most chicks, and who gets the most attention.
Yeah, we don't care about it.
So where did this mindset start with you? How did you guys develop this mindset? Is that how you grew up?
I grew up that way. Yeah, my mother used to read us the Bible as children and stuff, so we always grew up knowing about Jesus and everything. And then, so that's pretty much what led me to make the leap, I guess. You know what I mean? I never had parents that were pushing me to go to college or pushing me to do something. They were just like, have a relationship with God. That's really the only thing that I got pushed by my parents. And so I've always been blessed or cursed with kind of looking at all this as temporary, what's the point in it kind of thing. You can't take any of it with you, and there's nothing new under the sun. It's all chasing wind. What's the point in all this? And so that really getting into, well, a creator created you. He created all of this, and he put you here for a reason. Well, if that's the case, what's the reason? Okay, if this is the reason, then here I go, God. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the leap, and I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm just going to trust you, work hard and trust you. And that's really all we've done. There's no plan to it. We get asked quite often, how do you make it? And I just work hard and trust God. That's all. That's the only thing that I can ever think to answer with, because the shows we've played and the doors we've walked through led to new opportunities, many days, many months, many years down the road that we could have never planned. And we've just been and then you can look back and acknowledge the stepping stones that he was placing the whole time. And even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, just being able to go back and look at like, wow, I see why that happened now. I see why we went through that. I see that's just crazy to go back and look at.
That's very wise for a young person to think that way. Like, how old are you now?
29.
Yeah, you're very young. And when you started, that's even younger. They're like, to be able to think that way at an early age, there's nothing new under the sun. Like, what's my purpose? My purpose is to serve. My purpose is to do something with this gift that I've been given and to follow this path. It's very unusual.
Like, cool.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great example for people.
Yeah.
Because it is a mindset, and that mindset will serve you so much better than the other mindset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The other mindset of chasing things is how you lead to Elvis on pills.
Yeah.
It was my favorite Elvis.
Yeah, dude.
That was the fun Elvis.
70s Elvis, karate.
Yeah. I love the fake karate.
Big Elvis.
I want all the people to play along with it.
Would you have wanted to spar with Elvis?
No.
Come on,
I would have
man.
been nice to him. Well, you had to lose.
Yeah, he would have made
Spar
you.
with Elvis, you have to lose.
I want to see Elvis or Steven Seagal do some sparring.
Well, Steven Seagal is legit at Aikido.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the first American to run a dojo in Japan.
Dang.
Yeah, he was a legit Aikido practitioner. Now, the benefits and the practicality of Aikido are hotly debated. It's not really a great martial art as a standalone martial art. It's really for samurais to fight against someone who has a sword. So if you lose your sword in combat, you have to understand how to transfer the momentum of energy that someone's attacking you with a sword. You have to be an expert at manipulating their attack and using it against them. But as a standalone martial art, it's not very effective.
See, I thought he had some of those videos where he was like, he just touched somebody and they would fly across the room.
Not really. He had videos where it was demonstrations. So guys would run at him with a very specific thing and he would flip them.
Yeah.
But he could fuck you up, if you didn't know what you were doing. But the problem is if you knew what you were doing, you'd fuck him up.
Yeah.
But he's a big guy. The thing about it is, it's just no one back then really knew what the best martial art was, so you chose one and you got really good at it. You know, that's the thing. When something truly works for you, you want people to know about it. AG1 Next Gen is your daily healthy drink. Just one scoop combines your multivitamin, pre- and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants into one truly simple, delicious habit. I partnered with AG1 for so long because they're committed to constantly improving. And their latest clinically studied formula features more vitamins and minerals for more comprehensive support while still maximizing absorption in the body. And I know I've talked about AG1 for a long time, but if you haven't checked it out in a while, now's the time. AG1 has a lot going on, including new flavors, berry, citrus, and tropical. That'll make showing up for your health even better. You can be an athlete, you could be a gym rat, you could just be a normal person, and AG1 is going to help you feel your best. When you subscribe today, you'll get a free bottle of AG D3K2 and 5 AG1 travel packs with your first subscription order. Just head to drinkag1.com/Joe Rogan or click the link in the description. That's drinkag1.com/Joe Rogan.
And now the Dagestanis are taking over.
Yeah, well, that's grappling. It's been around forever.
Yeah, of course.
Wrestling. But what Elvis was doing was Kempo karate with Ed Parker. And it's pretty clear that he took like some classes. You know, like he throws kicks in the air and stuff, but it wasn't very good.
He wasn't a black belt.
Did he have a black belt?
Yeah, he had like a 7th degree or some crazy
He
shit.
had the Elvis black belt.
Yes, sir.
See, I did martial arts in middle school. I did Shotokan karate, and I loved it. And a part of me wants to get back into it, but there's the whole Elvis thing.
He'd never really.
Yeah, this is Elvis.
Yeah, dude.
But by the way, back then nobody knew what was legit and what was not legit. Like these thrusts, like this, they're pretending they can hit him and he doesn't feel it. One of the look at this is so crazy. Like all this is just fucking nonsense.
This is gonna be branded on Halloween.
This is fucking nonsense.
Yeah. Hey, dude, he was on top of the world.
He was. Not only was he on top of the world, he was the first guy on top of the world. That's really the important point, is that he went crazy for sure, but everybody goes crazy when you get that famous, and no one had ever been that famous before.
Yeah.
There was no guidebook for him to follow. There was no Michael Jackson before him. There was no Prince. There was no nobody. So it's just nobody can handle that kind of fame, especially in the 1970s. Like nobody. What was going on?
Blew up at 19, I think.
Yeah. No way you're going to be normal. Good luck. And then you got an evil manager that's feeding you pills, and you're all fucked up, and
Yeah.
you're stuck in Vegas, and he's gambling everything away.
Yep.
That's going to be my manager.
Dang.
we pick on Cody. You just met him back there. It's like, you're just going to end up being Colonel, bro. One day.
The snowman.
Nah, we hold each other accountable.
Well, that's good. Because at least now, for famous people, there's a roadmap.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see where the pitfalls are. You can see, oh, that's Britney Spears Road. Don't go down there. You know what I mean? Like, you can see all the things that people have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you've seen all the different ways that you can ruin your life and get caught up in the moment. And then also, the fact that you're very religious helps a lot because you don't believe the hype, right? You believe in higher power. You believe in something that's bigger and greater than all of us. If you believe in that, you will not get caught in this bizarre mindset that befalls many, many stars, where they think they're superior to everyone else because they get treated that way. That's the reinforcement they get. Everywhere they go, people are cheering when they see them. People want them to sign things and take selfies with them. Everybody wants a hug, and everybody wants to be your best friend. And you really start to believe because of the information that you're getting. The information you're getting is I'm better than everybody else, right? And if you don't have a lot of personal insight, and if you're not very objective and introspective, you will buy into that, and you'll start behaving and believing like that. And then comes the pills.
Yeah, dude.
I think
Pick
that's
yourself back up.
I think that's where we benefit from like a solo act, is that we have five individuals that are going to check each other. We always say the pack will correct.
Yes.
So if somebody acting out, we might let you go for a couple days, but then you're going to wake up and we have a come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
We've done that. All of us have had that at some point in our careers together.
That's great.
And
That's very good.
we always, too, just think about what you were talking about. We think we suck.
Yeah.
So, like the the feeding into the I'm better than everybody. Oh, I'm famous. It's like, well, it's probably downhill from here. You know, people they find new hobbies and new things to like, especially now faster than ever. People's attention spans are so short nowadays. It's like,
oh yeah, they forget.
We're on
about
top
you
right
quick.
now, yeah, but they'll forget about us.
I think you're much better off being heavily critical of yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Like, I don't never want to be content with anything I'm doing. Like, I always will have notes for myself. Like, even after we have like a solid show or something, I'm like, well, I just missed like 10 notes. And it felt like Guitar Hero in my head. You know, when you and they start booing you. That's what happens in my head. Just like, get it together, man.
It's better that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to force you to constantly work at it, constantly try to get better. The people that believe that they're the best already, you know, where are you going to go from there?
That's exactly how we think.
Yeah, there was. We get asked a lot at VIP. What was the moment you knew you made it? I was like, I don't want to make it. What's after making it? You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to just be there and make it.
Making it to me is like the film where the people hold hands and walk off in the sunset.
Yep.
That's a crock of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
want
wake
that.
up in the morning. Okay, what do you want for breakfast? You know, it's like life goes on. And this idea that there's going to be a goal where you're going to get to a spot someday where you could rest, that's nonsense.
That's when you die.
Yeah. Take a day off every now and then. Nothing wrong with that. But this idea that you're going to get to a place where, well, I made it. It's over.
I'm set
Did
for
it.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did it. That's all bullshit.
Yep.
And if you get really, really rich, you want to get really, 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 really rich. It never ends.
Really?
If you think like that, yeah. If that's the thought process, if you're just chasing after goals and looking for this one moment where you can say, okay, we did it, it's never happening.
Yeah, I kind of I say that to people too. Just from the outside looking in, you think like if you've never done it before, man, it'd be cool to get a song in a show. It'd be cool to get a platinum single. It'd be cool to sell out Red Rocks. And once you do it, it's like, okay, we did it. Nothing changed. It's like when your birthday comes, do you feel older? You feel older? No, I feel the same. It's here, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean.
It's good to have goals. It's good to
Yeah.
have milestones. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I guess the process. And the thing that you were talking about, like honoring this gift that you have, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And then recognizing that you're in this very unique position and you're very fortunate. And so because of that, you owe it to this gift that you've been given, and you owe it to the people that love you, the people that come to see you, to keep doing your best.
Well, we do stray to play on our name a little bit. I think we do stray a little bit from the industry because our fan base is a lot of sad people, a lot of depressed people, a lot of people who, you know, were suicidal. And we make music for that fan base, I guess. And you're not going to hear that at like a country music festival on the beach.
How do you know that about your fans?
We get messages every day.
Oh yeah,
Um,
tons.
We and sometimes they email our agents and stuff. We had one lady who sent us an email saying she decided to off herself, take a lot of pills, and she wanted to go to sleep listening to music. As she was laying there waiting to take the big nap, our song "I'm Still Fine" came on, and it kind of, you know, snapped her out of it a little bit, and she started crying and immediately regretted it and got up and called her sister and told her sister what she had just did, and they rushed her to the hospital and did whatever at the hospital for someone who takes a lot of pills at once, and saved her life pretty much. And she said,
Wow.
yeah, it was so moving. And that's what really makes it worth it for us, because touring is a lot. Touring sucks a lot of the times. And if we were just doing it to be popular or to be famous or to be relevant, make money, I don't think that's enough to keep me going, because being on the road is very hard. What keeps us going is those stories and seeing how our music at the concert, seeing how our music affects people and helps them in a positive way. And so, I don't know, that's just where we get our fulfillment from.
What do you think is about your music that appeals to people that aren't feeling good?
A lot of it came from us not feeling good. Drew and my brother Matthew are the main writers for the band. And, you know, they just our song "Drowning." Drew wrote that during COVID when we were driving for Uber, trying to keep the bills paid. My goal was to make $100 a day for Uber, and driving for Uber in Mobile, Alabama sucks. I'd have to do like 12, 14 hours a day to get that. And
to
then
get $100.
Yeah, and then most of the time spent.
So that was just 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And we were locally famous at the time, so I was picking up people. And they were like, oh my God, Rick Clay Strays.
Hop in.
Really?
I don't want to talk about it.
Make sure to leave a tip.
That's crazy.
I picked up like, and I was driving a Hyundai Sonata, and I picked up like 5 black dudes. They wanted to get in the Hyundai Sonata to go to the stripper club. And I was like, y'all can't, like, all 5 of y'all can't fit in here. I can only take like 4 at the most. So they had to leave one behind. And I had to take them like 30 minutes across town. And that's how Mobile is. Everything is like a 30-minute drive. And so I took them 30 minutes across town to the stripper club. There's some very interesting people at nighttime who get Ubers, just so you know.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they probably want to talk to you.
Sometimes. The worst was people with bad BO.
Oh.
Get in your car with bad BO.
And then
Yeah.
leave it.
I'm like
And leave that smell in your car.
I'm like a germ freak. So
Are you really?
sometimes, yeah, and especially with smells, I can't get like a fresh air. I feel like I'm suffocating. And this frat guy got in my car one time, and he was something, and he was going to Lowe's to get like something for a beer pong table. He was getting ready to have a frat party, and I had to drive him to Lowe's, and it smelled like he had never taken a shower, and so I was just trying not to freak out. I was just like leaning like that.
Was that bad?
Yeah, for sure. And I was sweating by the time he got out of the car. Yeah.
Dry heaving up front.
Driving 100 miles an hour to get him out the car.
I'd pick some people up. Oh, people just put too much faith in Uber drivers. I'd pick up people from the hospital. I picked up a blind lady from the hospital. That's what they do if they don't have any family. They'll call them. They'll get them an Uber. And I had to help this blind lady get into her house. I picked up this one guy fresh out of surgery. He couldn't walk. I had to get him in my car. And they got him a hotel, I guess. So I had to take him to the hotel. And I had to carry him out of my car and get him in his bed. And I was just thinking, what if this wasn't me?
Right.
You know?
What if it was a 80-pound lady? Yeah.
Yeah, or just somebody who didn't even care. Get out of my car, you know? That kind of blew my mind a little bit, how much faith hospitals put in Uber drivers. It's very sad.
Well, one thing I found out during COVID, that it sounds so stupid that I didn't know this, but hospitals are private businesses. This is how naive I was. I was like, well, doctors, they go to universities, they do it so that they can become the best doctor they can, and then they work for these hospitals that are set up so that all the people in the city have medical care. And this is like part of the city services. I really believed that. I really thought that. And then I have some friends that are doctors, and they would tell me, no. Not only that, you're incentivized. You're incentivized to push certain medications. You're incentivized to do surgeries that maybe people don't need, and you have to challenge your own ethics because you'll be talked into doing surgeries that this guy, you kind of could justify it, but really you shouldn't get it. I'm like, oh, fuck, man, really? And then, I've had friends that left and started their own practices because of this, because they tell you, like, you just, at the end of the day, like, why did I go to school? Like, I thought I was going to school because I wanted to learn medicine, because I thought that would be a really fascinating way to make a living and very rewarding. You're helping people that are injured, that are sick. And then he got just enlightened to, like, what the business really is. And it's just about numbers.
Yeah.
He got sick.
Instagram Reels will scare you, too, with all that stuff.
Oh, dude, I went down a rabbit hole last night. Just sitting in my bed. I shouldn't have done this. It was like 9 o'clock. There's no reason for me to look at dick lengthening videos.
What?
It just popped up on Instagram, in like the For You section.
Yeah, dude.
Stay away from that for you.
I didn't ask for it. I don't know what happened.
How many
Googling.
videos did you watch?
Oh,
after
I watched
that?
a lot of them. I watched hours worth of it. It's fucking horrific, man.
Yeah, 3
Dudes are-
inches of hidden penis.
It's
Everybody's got
not
it.
just that, man. It's like these guys are getting these things put in their dicks so that the dicks are thicker. Oh my God. See, the thing about YouTube is, YouTube, you want to see some videos?
Yeah, might as well. We're here.
So
Learn me something.
I'll pull up my history. YouTube can actually, so the thing is, this guy was like, go to my YouTube video and you can see the actual surgeries. I'm like, no fucking way. And yeah, fucking way. So YouTube will actually show you the surgery. We can't show any of this on camera, right, Jamie?
Why
Yeah,
not?
like it's educational purposes.
But these dudes are just digging. They're just digging in dicks and it was just horrific. All right. You know what?
Once you get on that dark side of Instagram, usually it's when Brandon sends me reels. Brandon always be finding himself on that bad part, and then he sends it to me, and then I'm 30 minutes deep into feeling uncomfortable with my life.
Why isn't this showing up in my...
I don't really want to fuck up my algorithm by looking for this.
All right, we don't have to. You guys can trust
I
me.
have to start searching hard.
So this
Got one.
this is an ad by BetterHelp. When you have a problem, when you're feeling down, it's nice having someone to turn to, like a partner who can cheer you up, a friend to vent to, a parent who can give you advice. Even having a nice conversation with a stranger can be uplifting. Whoever you like to turn to, though, probably won't have all the answers. That's where therapy comes in. There are some things that you can get from therapy you can't get anywhere else. Like if you're struggling with anxiety or depression, a therapist can help you develop positive coping skills. Or if you're struggling with how to be kinder to yourself, therapy can help you take a step in the right direction. And thanks to BetterHelp, matching with a credentialed therapist is easier than ever. Just head online to fill out a short questionnaire, and BetterHelp will set you up with a therapist based on your needs. If for any reason it's not a good fit, you can switch to another therapist at no extra cost. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/JRE. That's betterhelp.com/JRE. So this is what happened. So I'm looking in the For You page, and it was like, I saw this thing that said plus 2 inches and 3 inches of girth. And it's this guy's got what looks like a flounder fillet, and he's dipping it in this liquid, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, is this guy operating on a dick? Is this what's going on here? So it's like this plastic sheet, this flexible stuff that looks like a fillet, and he's like dunking it in this stuff. I don't know what this liquid is. It's like there's a dark liquid and a clear liquid, and this guy's explaining he's gonna have so much more confidence, he's gonna have so much more girth, and this, and I'm like, no fucking way, you're getting your dick operated on? This is crazy. Like, if you have to get your dick operated on, like, okay, I gotta do this. I can't believe I gotta do this. I got a dick problem.
People sign up
I
for
got a dick cancer or something. Like, the dick has to get fixed. I gotta get it fixed. This is just regular dicks that people are like, I'm not happy with my dick. I wish my dick was hard all the time. And so one of the guys, like, his dick was like 8 inches flaccid all the time because he had this fucking tube stuck in there, this fucking PVC pipe that they had stuffed into his hog. And it's just, and so in YouTube, because it's medical, they can show you. So the guy just drops his shorts. I'm like, no, fuck. And this guy's get this Franken penis, and with, like, by the way, he's got the head of a little dick, but the body of a giant dick. So it's like, you know, like they took a guy who's like got a little tiny body, and they popped his head off and put it on a bodybuilder's body.
How do you deal with that on a daily basis?
Well, this fella seems like he was getting a lot of play. He was
Good
in
for
the
him, dude.
He was in the rainbow community, and it seemed like he was just slinging that dick all over town, and quite happy that it never got soft.
Quite literally laying pipe.
Yeah, literally piping.
Do you ever?
Oh,
Let's
Jesus,
just use it.
Jamie.
It's a banana. It's
That's a banana.
Okay.
All right. They're showing how they do it with.
Yeah. Well, what is this one?
they
This is
squirt some
girth.
stuff
See, that's
in
where
it.
we
Oh,
would-
this is a fat injection, and this guy was dismissing fat injections. Like, fat injections are nonsense.
all right.
You need the plastic.
I think I would pass out. You wouldn't
Well,
even
you
need to
probably
do.
wouldn't
Yeah, you wouldn't need anesthesia on me because
Yeah.
I'd pass out.
Oh, that's
And one guy they install.
Oh,
Oh, that's
those legs
crazy
extending?
too. Where they break
That's
their
some
legs and they
wild
stretch it
stuff.
out.
Oh.
There's a guy that I've been watching. What is it? Brian the Sasquatch? That's his new Instagram? The guy was already 6 feet tall, but he wanted to be 6 foot, and he's a gigantic dude, like built like a brick shithouse. And he got his legs stretched out like a year and a half ago, and he still hasn't recovered.
Yeah,
How far
I
did-
imagine not.
Well, your mechanics are all off.
Yeah.
So if you were an athlete and you are used to having the legs of a 6 foot man, and now your legs have grown 6 inches, like,
Yeah, your arms aren't going to be proportionate either.
well, he had very long arms,
Oh.
unusually long arms.
So does it look proportionate?
Totally
on his
looks
body?
normal. Looks like he's just a giant dude. For him, but for other people, yeah, it looks fucking weird. This is the guy. So this is him trying to jump ropes now.
Oh, wow.
It's like he can barely walk.
Oh,
But look at the size of this motherfucker. So he's got kind of like, this is him now.
his knees aren't even.
No, he's all messed up.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he's got like knee braces on. I'm sure his knees are super confused. Like, he can barely walk.
What are we doing to ourselves?
I mean,
People are
do you
crazy.
think eventually you would get the strength in the right places?
Yes,
to-
eventually. There's a guy, we looked up this one guy who did it. Remember that one guy who was running those athletic drills?
sprinting.
But he was doing sprinting and plyometrics. Some people have to, but I don't think he gained 6 inches. This guy gained like half a foot. Look, they're going to get to the point where with CRISPR, they're just going to edit your genes, and there's going to be no normal looking people anymore. Like
Yeah.
all the interesting personality quirks that you have to develop because you got a weird chin, like all that shit's going to go away.
It's getting weird, man.
They're trying to get rid of Down syndrome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, probably be a good idea.
that wouldn't be
mean-
terrible.
Listen, I mean, there's nothing
find
wrong. They're sweet people. You know, my friend Shane, he's got family members that are Down syndrome, and he loves them very dearly. But if you could do that and they could be normal functioning members of society, that would be a better thing.
Just
It'd be a better thing for
delete
everybody.
that gene
Yeah.
or
Just
whatever.
Manipulate it.
They're going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to do a lot of things.
Then we're going to be birthing super babies once they like it. The things usually always seem like they start good and then they go really bad, and then
Well-
we're creating superhumans in the womb.
We're at the cusp of some really, really wild shit with AI and with genetic engineering and
With China, I read something where they can they're trying to grow babies in an artificial womb now.
See, that's where
Yeah.
that's where ethics gets a little weird because then you're playing God. Then
Well, there's something that happens. There's communication between the mother and the child through the entire time. So, are you giving birth to a fucking sociopath?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like this baby is not going to get any love, no oxytocin. There's nothing from the mother. There's no bond with the mother. When the mother's stressed, the baby feels stressed.
Some of the mother's brain, something from their brain goes into the baby.
100%. There's a lot going. There's communication. This is why like the mother has to be up on her nutrients because the baby's taking nutrients from the mother, and if the mother doesn't have enough, the baby is taking it from the mother. So it's like an artificial womb. It's like you're opening the door for Satan.
Yeah,
like
that's-
if you believe in that, like if you want a soulless, bizarrely unempathetic person, what better way than
Maybe that's
have
where they
no
end.
connection? You know, that was one of the things that happened to the Unabomber. The Unabomber, I watched the Netflix documentary on him, and one of the things that happened to him when he was young, he had some sort of a disease where he had to be separated from his mom, and they put him in a hospital with no contact. He had for a prolonged period of time as a baby. No one picked him up, no one held him, no nothing, for a long, long time. And then, as if that wasn't fucked up enough, they entered him into the Harvard LSD studies.
oh,
And then so he was in the Harvard LSD studies, and this was during the MK Ultra period. So the MK Ultra period, they were doing all sorts of experiments with people through the CIA. One of the things they were doing was a thing called Operation Midnight Climax, where they opened up brothels in San Francisco, and they would put two-way mirrors in, and they would dose these johns up with LSD. So the ladies of the night were actually working for the CIA, and they would go in, here, have a drink. And the guy would have a drink, and then next thing you know, he's like, whoa.
Wow.
And they were just trying to experiment and see. It was also a part of what the Charles Manson family was about, and they were doing all kinds of shit with people where they're trying to figure out what can we do to humans if we can manipulate them with LSD, and they did it to Kaczynski, and we saw what happened with him.
And Tuskegee, Alabama, with the syphilis back in the day.
Well, that was even more evil.
You're just
That was
seeing
different.
what would kind of happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's still like human experimenting without them knowing.
Yes.
It's a very scary situation.
Well, it just goes back to what we were talking about with medicine, that there are people that are willing to do things to people that are just entirely evil for profit, for whatever justification they can come up with.
No value for human life.
None. And I think one of the problems with doctors, and my friend who's a doctor told me this, like, you just get numb when you see too many people die. He's like, it's a very dangerous state of mind. Because you just see someone, you're like, well, he's going to die. And then you go have a sandwich.
We're getting numb as a society of seeing people die.
Well, the Charlie Kirk thing fucking opened up my eyes.
Yeah.
I never expected so many people would celebrate that man's murder.
That is evil. That's
bizarre. It's just bizarre. Like normal people that I think they're good people. And they genuinely think that guy was a bad guy. And I don't think they're right. And I think they were indoctrinated. And I don't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk said or did.
I don't care if he was a bad guy or not.
He's not a bad guy.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see anybody die.
First of all, he's fucking your age, right?
Yeah.
Young guy, right? And he would go around to college campuses and have arguments with people or have discussions with people, have debates with people.
Yep.
But it infuriated people because they felt like this guy is going against the progress that was being made in society. But what he did not feel like was progress. Like it was a progressive agenda that was being pushed in most college campuses. It's a leftist, Marxist sort of agenda. He didn't feel like that was the correct way to live, and he felt like he had arguments against it, and he wanted. And it was, it's a business too, right? Like he developed this big social media platform because of it, and I don't, like I said, I don't agree. I don't think some of the things he said he should have said, but the fact that people were cheering when he died, normal people, housewives, moms, like fucking people working at banks, people working at various industries, celebrating a man getting shot in front of his kids, in the front of the whole world.
That's
like,
evil.
What the fuck is wrong with us?
Yeah, that's evil. I don't know. I think it really made me feel extra weird too because it was an innocent man. I'll give some leniency, maybe they're doing a public execution of like a mass murderer or a child rapist, something like that.
Right.
But seeing an innocent man trying to have a conversation get shot in front of his kids, and people celebrate that, it made me feel a certain way.
Yeah, it was not justice. But I think people are poisoned by social media. I really firmly believe that. I think social media has people completely twisted, and I think a lot of what has people completely twisted is not even organic. I think it's all on purpose, that you're being manipulated by foreign governments, by bot farms, and by various elements, either in our government or other governments. And they do it for their own agenda, for their own ends, and it's dark.
Well, there's a Proverbs verse that I can't remember where it's at, but it's like, he who doesn't find me harms himself, and he who loves death hates me. And that, if you love God and you can't love death, you can't love somebody getting killed.
Right.
There's the line right there. There's evil and good right there.
Yeah.
And so there's no justification for that. And we actually, because we've always made a point in the band to not get political. We don't care what your politics are. We just come listen to our music and come have fun at our show. We don't care. Every one of us in the band, originally, we all have different views politically and religiously in some type of way. But we managed to be brothers and, be in a band together. So I've just gotten, and I love a good political talk, but lately I've just been so jaded from it. So, and I don't want to ever divide my fan base or anything. How you vote or how you believe is none of my business. We are here to entertain you. And so I'd never want to use my platform to do that. But we're just, we got so sick of seeing people put politics above humanity. We had wrote a song about it in April in the studio called People Hating, and we wasn't going to put it out as a single. At first, we were going to do another song, but after the Charlie Kirk thing, it's just like, hey, we got together and we were like, I think we need to put People Hating out instead for the first single, because it's just we've got to start. We've got to stop killing each other over beliefs and stop hating each other over beliefs, you know?
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Everybody's race is different. Everybody's experiencing life different, and everybody's trying to figure it out the same as you are. And it's just really weird now.
It's really weird, and it's celebrated to hate people. And that's the weird part. And most of us know that that's wrong. And that's why, like, when this Charlie Kirk thing happens, there's a giant blowback, and most people recognize, like, hey, as a collectively, as a society, this is not right. Regardless of whoever that person is, whether that person's on the left or the right, they just got shot in front of the whole world. It's not a thing to celebrate ever. And especially when you're seeing people on the left that are supposed to be progressives. These are supposed to be the kind, compassionate, inclusive people that are celebrating gun violence, public execution. Like, that's insane. That's in a public assassination. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be against guns and then celebrate when someone is killed by a gun.
Right. Yeah. No, it doesn't make any sense. But that hypocrisy is just a symptom of where we find ourselves. We're all just, so many of us are confused because of the rhetoric online. And again, a lot of that's not normal. It's not organic. It's not real. It's not real people. And it's not what you would ever get in real social circles of healthy people.
Yeah.
You're only getting it through this very bizarre filter of just text on social media and videos where someone's just talking to the camera, celebrating on social media. It's like, it's very strange.
Most of the time you walk around, because we travel all over the place, and most of the time when you walk around, stop watching the news, get off your phone, and just walk around in society.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad.
It's not that bad, and that is the key. But most people are not going to get off their phone.
Yeah,
and that's what's fucked. Most people are just fully hooked on that damn thing.
You think it's weird now? Wait till all these iPhone babies grow up and all these tablet babies grow up. You've seen the videos of them taking the tablets away and the babies are like freaking out, having withdrawals and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're being raised with it.
Our generation was probably the last to not have. I mean, we didn't have technology growing up. We had dial-up internet, and we didn't get that till I was, already through middle school.
I didn't have a smartphone until I was 16.
We still have an Android.
Yeah, dude, but that's better.
All right, buddy.
Why are you an Android guy?
I've always been an Android guy because I'll give you some. We didn't grow up rich, so
that's my argument. Just to play around that.
Yeah, we couldn't afford iPhones, and I really didn't care. I didn't even know what an iPhone was. I just got whatever phone I could buy.
Text people.
My dad got me my parents got me the little sidekick and stuff. So I've always been on the Android side. And then when I started working as a teenager, I saved up and I bought my own smartphone from one of those cell phone shops in the strip mall. And it was Android. I never really got into I never cared, first of all, what phone people have. It's you guys who care.
I have both. But it is it's a weird thing in our society where if a kid has an Android phone, they're looked down on. And
yeah, dude.
It's weird. Like something like 80+% of kids have iPhones.
Man, it was after a show one time. It was after a show one time a long time ago.
Weird.
And I was talking to this girl. This was like way back in the day, and she's like, "Yeah, well, maybe we get your number." And then I pulled out my phone. She's like, "Oh, you have an Android?" I just walked off. Said, yeah, just walked off.
She didn't like you anymore?
Green bubble? Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Isn't that weird? It's weird. It's weird, but it's like it just shows you how easy people fall into tribes. Yeah.
Over anything.
What we were just talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even down to phone. If you have something different than somebody, they automatically don't like you.
When
it
the
can be
iPhone
religion, it can be politics, it can be the dang phone in your pocket.
Yep.
When the iPhone babies grow up, they're going to be killing each other over phones.
What about the Android babies?
We just want to be left alone, man.
See, there's the identity.
It's a Rebels phone.
Now, Rebels phone.
If you choose it, it's a Rebels phone. If it chooses you, it's like, one day I want to get a fucking iPhone. Get out of this job. I'm going to get a real job, and I'm going to get an iPhone.
Nope.
But the people that choose it, they're the rebels.
I'm glad I married an iPhone user. I'll tell you that. I'm glad my wife has an iPhone and we
Why?
can send cool emojis.
See, you say that. I married an iPhone user, and I don't care if she has an iPhone.
That's sweet.
You're glad that you married an iPhone user. I don't care that I married an iPhone user. I love her anyway.
It feels like you're trying to be superior over him now
Exactly.
by virtue of calling
Brandon's just like the
calling
left,
out your superiority
Can't win for
complex. He's
losing.
being superior.
Just can't win with these people.
Yeah, now he's playing victim.
He wants to say it's an American company, but they're made in China.
Well, the owner, Tim, what's his name? Cook.
You don't even know.
He is
The CEO.
He is from where we are from. I'm
Okay.
supporting a local. Now, has he ever put an Apple store in Mobile, Alabama? Absolutely not. Do we deserve one? Probably not.
We don't.
But
It'll get robbed, dude.
Yeah.
maybe the phone should be made in America one day.
Yeah.
But American company.
Well, if they made I always said that if they made an American phone that had like a little American flag on the back, but it cost $200 more, I would buy it.
Yeah, me too.
Who do you think's going to make it?
Well, it would have to be a company that the problem is that the goal of doing that is a long goal. Like you would have to develop the chips. You'd have to have a plant. Like Samsung tried to put in they were putting a microchip plant in Texas, and they had giant issues because they weren't getting enough. Like so. All of them don't meet their standards, and a certain percentage of them weren't, and it was a much lower standard than they needed, and so it didn't work out. It's like, and you're spending billions and billions of dollars to find out that you can't do it. So in China, they've got that shit perfected. They've been doing it for so long because we've relied on them for so long.
Don't they have their own phone as well?
They have a lot of phones.
I don't forget what it's called. They have a special Chinese phone.
Well, Huawei, because they were banned here, so Google and Apple wouldn't let them use their operating systems because it's basically a spy device.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Oh.
So are all of them. If you're hanging around with me, your fucking phone's bugged.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
yeah,
something that's always been something that does not bother me personally. I don't have anything to hide. First of all,
What about your DMs?
That's not
Like
the problem. Is
what we
not
send each
that.
other.
The problem is not you having something to hide. The problem is no one should have access to your private
No, they
information.
should not.
Whether or not it's bad. That shouldn't mean anything. No one should have access.
No, they should not.
Because it's an individual.
Yeah.
No individual should be able to look at your phone. You can't look at theirs. It's a power thing. It's a control
But
thing.
you can guarantee the government's got everything.
Oh, it's not just the government. It's other foreign governments, especially if you're a controversial person. Like the foreign governments, there's a thing called Pegasus too. All they need is your phone number. That's all they need. So if you're not using encrypted apps, all they need is your phone number. And even if you are using encrypted apps, the government can get into those. When Tucker Carlson was trying to interview Putin, the government contacted him and said, "We know you're trying to interview Putin. We were looking into your Signal app." And he's like, "What?
Wow.
That's wild.
You can read my fucking Signal app?" Yeah.
So it's just like the government saying, back off China, spying on Americans is our job.
Well,
Those are
because of the
ours.
Patriot Act and because of a lot of other things that they've passed in this country, a lot of it's legal. They're allowed to. They're allowed to spy on you.
I think they can make it illegal and we still wouldn't know.
Well, it probably would be illegal, but it wouldn't matter. They would find some sort of a fucking loophole. Or they'd pass some bill, they'd stick it in some farm bill, something. We think, like, oh, this is good, we're going to help the farmers. And you look in there like, hey, what's this doing in there?
Yeah, I seen, there's some stuff in the big beautiful bill where it's like they were trying to sell some national park land or something.
Yes, they were trying to sell public land. That was a part of the big beautiful bill. Yeah, I was one of the people that was trying very hard to try to get that out of there.
I remember that.
It's fucking sick.
I thought that was illegal.
It should be.
Foreign countries.
It should be.
owning
They're trying
land.
to change laws. That's the thing. Like foreign countries owning land around military bases. That's crazy.
That's weird too.
Why is that happening?
You can't do that in China. Meanwhile, China owns land around military bases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupidity with our freedom, but that doesn't mean the government should be fucking spying on you. The thing is, in other countries, they just are. Like in China, they just are. And, and the argument is if we want to compete with China, we have to do what they're doing, which I think is insane.
Aren't they about to start, or they already have the social point system?
Social credit score.
Yeah, social credit score.
Oh, yeah. So if you jaywalk and they get a photo of your face, so they have biometrics, they get a photo of your face, they know it's you, your thing gets dinged, now you can't buy a plane ticket.
Black Mirror stuff.
Yep.
Dude.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
becoming
like
reality.
that. Well, they're passing that in the UK right now. In the UK, you need a digital ID to combat, ready for it, illegal immigration. Well, motherfucker, you let the illegal immigrants in on purpose. Like, you guys knew what you were doing, and now you're using it as a justification for digital ID.
I just watched one this morning, actually, about, it was a British judge. A guy got sentenced.
I saw that, yeah.
For however many years for a
20 months, social media.
For a social media post.
It
was about immigration.
It's getting
complaining
weird,
about immigration.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy. And, you know, it's the best way to control people, you know, and keep them at each other's throats. Like, bring in a bunch of people that the people that live there don't want there and let them duke it out, and then start instituting tighter and tighter restrictions and control.
Yeah, I see all that happening, and it always makes me wonder. I wonder how it's going to go down here, because we are the different ones with the guns and stuff. I wonder how far it's going to go here before something happens, something pops off.
They're going to try. They're going to try, and they're going to keep trying. They're going to continue to try, and they're going to try to sneak it in. And if it's not for independent journalists that call that shit out, we would be in real trouble. It would have already happened. It would already happened. They would have put it. They were trying to institute a vaccine passport, and the vaccine passport would be attached to a digital ID so that you would know. But that digital ID would then be transferred to a social credit score, and then they wanted to do a carbon tax. So they want to do a thing that tracks your carbon. So it tracks how many miles you drive, tracks your purchases, so it tracks how much carbon you're contributing to the environment. It's crazy.
And somehow paying more money will stop that.
Oh yeah, that's what we need to do. You just need to tax people more.
Yeah.
Tax people more, and it's all going to come and make normal in the end. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Utopia.
Farmer with cows, you got to pay taxes on those cows because they're farting.
Because they're farting.
Well, how about in other countries? They're killing cows. They're forcing them to kill cows because these cows are producing too much methane. So they're saying you have to kill 2,000 cows, 1,000
Wow.
Food.
Yeah, so they control your food. That's exactly what it is.
Well, I remember when all those chicken farms or chicken houses burnt down a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was really weird too.
Yeah, it's real weird. But the chicken houses do burn down. What's also weird is they had to kill a bunch of chickens because some of these chickens had bird flu.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's true.
People's livestock's, Brandon, popping up dead too? Bunch of cattle?
There was a couple of years ago. This one farmer posted a video like all of his cattle were just dead in the field. And they said it was because of the heat or something, but this farmer had just tons of dead cows just all of a sudden. And it was going on the same time as the chicken houses burning down, so it could have just been, news adding on to news kind of thing. This is what's in right now.
Maybe it's aliens.
Yeah, maybe so.
Cattle mutilations.
Well, the alien thing is just another interesting topic. Like I'll get there's random times where people are seeing all these crazy things in the sky, and it's like a big deal for a few days, and then you don't really talk about it anymore. Did you see that one thing that lady was filming? She was like, "Hi, do you know Jesus?" And the wheels were like going crazy.
No, what is that?
It's like
It's also hard to know what's real.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and the interesting thing about that, though, somebody in the Bible described seeing something, one of the angels or something.
Ezekiel.
And the wheels on
wheel
wheels.
within a wheel.
And that's what this thing was. And she said, "Do you know Jesus?" And then the wheels would just start spinning really, really fast. And I was like, "Whoa, man! I hope that's real. That's pretty cool."
Oh man, is this it?
Yeah.
That looks like a rocket launch.
I can, but my fingers don't work.
She zooms in on an orb and speaks to it.
Sorry, guys.
She says, "Jesus loves me." She's definitely have an android. Look how fucking she is.
It's gonna turn into the moon here in a second. Watch.
Well, that's the thing. If you zoom in on stuff, especially stuff through the atmosphere, things look very blurry. Like if you zoom in on stars, they totally look like there's some sort of a fucking spaceship.
See how
it's just a star.
She said when she says, "Do you know Jesus?" It starts starts moving. I think it's towards the end, but yeah, you get the idea. It's just
yes,
that looks like. Kind of looks like a weather balloon.
Awesome,
maybe it's one of them Chinese spy balloons.
Wait, play that. Let me hear her say it.
Jesus loves me.
Look.
Oh, you know Jesus.
You know Jesus.
You know Jesus. Jesus is awesome, isn't he?
Yeah, Jesus rocks. But if that is real,
Yes,
dude,
he is.
and that random lady's just filming that,
Well, that is the weirdness of the people that think that they can call these things in. So there's a group of people that supposedly successfully, they sit out and they have this intention. They go out into the desert in a clear night sky and they have this intention to call these things in. And they're all silently calling these things in. And apparently it's effective. Occasionally, I don't know how often, but it's not zero. Sometimes these things show up.
who's that guy?
Interesting.
He was on Sean Ryan. He's
Yeah.
an old man, Chris something. But people like celebrities go out to his land, and he's like, I can call these things on command. They'll show up, and people go out to see it.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know
weird.
about all that.
Yeah,
It's hard.
You should go to. You should go there.
investigate.
I don't want to.
People will trust what you say.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't know what I'm seeing.
Well, don't
right?
tell anybody. Just go out for yourself.
The
Yeah.
thing is, like, you don't know what you're seeing. It could be a drone. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be fucking Starlink.
This guy
Do you have
said,
to pay to go do it?
That's a good question.
I can't remember that guy's name. It's driving me crazy. But yeah, he wrote a book called UFOs of God, and I started listening to it, and I'm just terrible about reading books and stuff. So I got like the first 3 chapters in, but it was really interesting. NASA showed up at his house.
Here
yeah.
it is. Chris Bledsoe.
Yeah, I watched his Sean Ryan, I think the guy's name is. I watched his podcast. It was an interesting listen.
And so this guy, what does he think these things are?
They're related with God somehow.
This is what Tucker believes.
Yeah, I believe it too.
A lot of people believe that these things are not from another world, that they've always been here,
Yeah.
and they're a part of our world that just don't show themselves to us. Does this guy have videos of these things? Watch this with an open heart, okay? Show me what you got. Okay, something moving. Oh,
There's a lot.
okay, what the fuck is that?
I think you should go out there and check him out.
Fireflies.
Just don't tell anybody.
That could be bugs.
I see that if I look up in the sky in Austin all the time.
Yeah, but that thing moving across the sky, that is
Oh,
odd.
that's different.
That thing's very odd
Yeah.
because that's clearly moving.
You see
Plane
flashes.
But the thing is, it's like you're zooming in, right? So you get distortion, right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
don't know, and see it's going behind the cloud. That you don't know what that is.
Yeah, have you ever seen the
Thank you,
space station
TikTok.
fly over?
How have you seen the space station fly over?
Yeah,
I've seen
I
it
have pictures
once.
of it before.
Does it look like that?
So yeah, it's really
Just
slow
a
mo.
white-
Yeah, it's just a tiny.
It's
little
usually
dot.
just one though.
Well, the rest of those, the rest of that stuff kind of looks
Probably
like fires.
bugs.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks like bugs.
from
Yeah.
the backyard.
That's the problem.
They're
Is that
tracking
like
something.
if you're zooming in on this thing, the stuff that flies in between that looks like it's moving really fast and flying across incredible space. Yeah, that easily could be bugs.
Especially if you're like.
But
backyard.
maybe not.
Also, yeah.
That's the problem.
Interdimensional angelic beings.
Is that what he's calling them?
That's what it says.
Hmm.
There's more.
I'd like to see some documentation.
My
sir.
dad was
Go
healed.
out there, dude.
Wait till the end. What happens in the end?
It goes behind the cloud.
Oh.
They simply come when we ask in prayer. Countless others were healed too.
Joe, just go out there and see it and don't tell anybody.
I don't want to waste my time. I feel like if they want to show themselves, they should just go ahead and do it.
I think they will eventually, maybe, if it's going to happen.
That was
Maybe
a lot.
Maybe if things get real messy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Isn't there verses about there will be signs in the sky? I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of verses about the sky and about. I've been into the Book of Enoch over the last couple. of
Yeah,
months.
I was wanting to pull that up. I was wanting to talk about that. with
So
you.
Rep Lima came in here and she was explaining to me the Book of Enoch, and I never really got into it. She's like, it could have been included in the Bible, and it was a part of the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The first half was, right?
Well, the Book of Enoch is in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The whole book?
Yeah,
Oh.
and the at least part. It's the problem with the Book of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Rather, it's a lot of it is deteriorated and it's missing chunks and stuff. But
Yeah.
the Book of Isaiah is in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it is identical word for word. Wes Huff was explaining that to
Yeah.
a version of it that was 1,000 years older, which was the most recent version before they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 1940s, which is wild.
That's the book that God predicts his own coming to earth and his own death and all that.
Well, the Book of Enoch is the one that predicts that this is what talks about the Watchers in the
Yeah.
sky, and that these gods
Trippy
mate
alien
with
stuff.
humans and created the Nephilim.
Yep.
That is bizarre.
Well-
I've listened to it twice now, and I keep going back over it and just rewinding and going, "What are they saying? Like, what were they trying to describe?" Because this sounds completely insane.
When you get into like because isn't there like Egyptian stuff where there's like men coming down from space and like
Stargate. There's all sorts of weird shit.
that to me it's just like fallen angels. You know, it's all kind of lining up in some kind of way or another. These whatever rebelled against God and came down here, men from the sky came down here and were pretty much posing as gods and demanding people worship them. And isn't Enoch where they teach them about money and teach them about
Sorcery.
and
Yeah, sorcery and agriculture and metallurgy. There's all sorts of like weird. They talk about incantations, it's like, and then like how to get out of incantations if one gets put on you. It's like,
And you got to think this is pre-Jesus, and
Yeah.
so God is separated from man. So we're just walking around as people, like not knowing what's going on. And these things come down, and they're
Right.
boring giants and stuff. It's like, you know, I'd probably think it's a god too, for God's sakes, you know, because there wasn't. What was the Jews even a thing when the Book of Enoch was written?
sure, yeah. It was. There were
God's chosen people.
the people that argued over whether or not the Book of Enoch should be included in the canon were rabbis.
Yeah.
It's all so confusing.
Is there any explanation of why it would be left out?
Well, they
They
felt
explain
like
that?
it didn't jive with the Torah. I think that's the reason why it was left out.
Well, I mean, when I say that, like at one point, the Jews were God's chosen people. Is like they knew the God, the one, the I am, the one true God, but the rest of the world didn't really know what was going on, and so they were worshiping other gods, and so, like, aside from the Jews, the rest of humanity seeing these things walking around, it's like I'm sure they would think that's a god. You know, I'm sure they would worship that. What else do they have to believe?
Well, if something did come and visit ancient humans, I'm in the middle of this Richard Dolan book, and it's a very interesting book on UFOs. And Richard Dolan, who's a very objective, scientifically minded author, one of the things he's talking about is this gene expression. It's a D allele that started. This gene it was introduced through breeding. So one of the things that we know is that it came into the human population somewhere around 40,000 years ago. And that all geneticists agree that this was introduced through crossbreeding. So the idea was it introduced by Neanderthals? Was it introduced by Denisovans? Like what type of human? Well, the problem is they don't find that gene expression in any other ancient human. Like they don't find it in Neanderthals, they don't find it, but they do find it in Asia. Like in Mongolia, most people have it. The rest of the world, it's like 70% of the people have it, and they think it's responsible for creativity. They think it's responsible for this giant change in the artwork that people start producing around 40,000 years ago. And his assertion or his question, the hypothesis, is that it was introduced by some other species. And this is also part of what is talked about, not just in the Book of Enoch, but also in the Sumerian text. They talk about what happened that created human beings. And so what he's talking about is this one woman that was an academic, I forget her name, but she wrote these books about it where she believes that human beings are some sort of a hybrid species, and that we were genetically manipulated to be what we are now.
And I think going back to the flood, because apparently, like every other religion has some type of evidence of a great flood, correct?
Yeah.
So at one point or another, if God's creation did get corrupt,
Right.
that was pretty much the great reset of he had to get rid of all that he didn't create. And I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah.
Well, they do all have a flood myth, and now because of the Younger Dryas impact theory, We know that there most likely was massive floods all over the earth somewhere around 11.
Yeah. And I just think about stuff like that when they find this skull that they can't link anything to, or find stuff that they can't link anything to. It's like, we don't really know what happened a long time ago. We can pretend that we did, but I personally believe there was an advanced civilization way back in the day before all that. And
There's a lot of evidence that points to that.
yeah.
Yeah. There was also new evidence that just emerged out of China. They found a Homo sapien skull that's 1 million years old.
Well, it's China.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's an actual Homo sapien skull that was carbon dated to 1 million years old. So that predates what we thought of as the emergence of Homo sapiens by 500,000 years.
Yeah.
And that's just what we found, right? They might find another one 6 months from now that's 2 million years old. So like, they don't really know. We're piecing things together. We're piecing the past together with a very limited amount of information, very limited evidence. And evidence of fossils, it's very difficult to make a fossil. Most fossils, they don't happen. The animals eat the bones deteriorate in the sun. There's a very specific set of circumstances that has to happen for something to be fossilized.
Haven't they found some fossils with like grass still in their mouths? And so they were wondering they found some type of evidence of fossils where it seems like this animal was fossilized instantly.
Yes. Well, not even fossilized, just preserved instantly.
Yeah.
Like, this is woolly mammoths. There's
Like
quite
in
a few of
ice.
them. They think a lot of that was what happened during the impact. So Randall Carlson talks about this quite a bit. There's multiple places on Earth where there's a large number of animals that seem to have died instantaneously, and weirdly, like with broken legs, like broken mammoth legs, over like a large field of them. Thousands of them there. Like, what happened? Like, some sort of an event must have happened where they were wiped out, or the ones that were in this area were wiped out instantaneously. And he thinks it's probably some sort of a collision.
Like it's a mass casualty of some sort.
Yes.
I mean, what else can cause that?
Well, not only that, 65%, something like that, of all North American megafauna died off at the exact same time. All of it around that same Younger Dryas impact theory time, between 11,800 years ago and 10,000 years ago. Everything. Woolly mammoth, African lion, African cheetah. There was all sorts of giant sloths, all sorts of weird animals that all died off in America around the exact same time that they think this flood happened. And it used to be just complete speculation, but now they find core samples where they're finding iridium, that indicates iridium is very common in space and very rare on Earth. So when they find a layer of iridium, it indicates there's some sort of an impact.
Of course.
Interesting.
Wild shit, man, because it could happen to us at any moment. You know, there's this guy, Avi Loeb, who's a professor out of Harvard, who is saying that some of these objects that we're seeing in space, they're moving in very bizarre ways. They're enormous. They have much more mass and much more speed. They're interstellar objects, and he's speculating whether or not they're alien.
We got one passing by pretty soon, right? I've been following that one a little bit.
Yeah, this is one of the ones he's talking about.
They think it's a spaceship.
They think it's something. You know, whatever it is.
For it to come outside of our solar system on this path is just very bizarre.
Very bizarre, but other astronomers say, but it just might be unique. Like, there's a lot of stuff in space they're finding through the James Webb telescope that they didn't understand. So they had this idea of the universe being 13.7 or whatever it is billion years old. But now they're finding these galaxies that were formed far too quickly, like after the Big Bang. And so now they're starting to say, well, this might be an indication that it's quite a bit older, and that maybe it's not 13, maybe the Big Bang is not 13.7 billion years, but that's just as far back as we can look. And as they get better and better equipment and better ways of looking, they'll be able to find more evidence and more information that gives them more questions and less answers. It's really weird. It's like, there's a quote by Dennis McKenna, and he said that once the bonfire of knowledge expands, the surface layer of ignorance is exposed. More of a surface layer of ignorance. So the more you see and the more you learn, the more you realize, I don't know shit. And that's what they're kind of finding out about space. It's like they know a lot, but they don't they don't know a lot in comparison to what's out there.
More questions pop up than answers.
Yeah, I mean it's fucking it might be.
It's just wild too how much of that we were taught in school is like fact, and then
Yeah.
you go- grow up and like, wait a minute, we don't really know what's going on.
I didn't even know there was dwarf planets in our solar system.
Yeah.
There's planets that aren't like
Yeah.
regular planets, but I didn't learn about those.
I might have learned that 3 years ago.
It's pretty wild to think that they're
I'm 32.
that they're there and we never learned about them.
Yeah.
Well, there's also speculation there's something big that's outside of the Kuiper Belt. There's like some other planet that it might even be a dwarf star, or what is it called? I forget what they're called, a brown dwarf. But that we might have a binary star system, and that this star might have died off, and it's like in a far outside of our own sun, outside of that orbit.
Wow.
So there's this thing called the Kuiper Belt that's outside of Pluto, and it's a belt of objects, and that's one of the reasons why Pluto got declassified as a planet, because it is a little too small to be a planet, and it seems like there's a lot of these objects out there. And then they found a couple more, and they're saying, okay, it's not a planet, but there seems to be a drop-off after that, which indicates something that is of a large mass exists.
Interesting.
But it's a little too far for us to be able to look at right now. So it's a lot of just speculation. What was that one paper that we looked at once that they had documented a planet out there they were calling Planet X? It's like
The Earth-like? Was it like an Earth-like?
they don't know what it is. I mean, this is the fucking Sumerian tech stuff too, because they talk about this planet called Nibiru that comes within an elliptical orbit every 3,600 years and fucks things up, and that's where the Anunnaki live. They come visit us. This is this guy Zechariah Sitchin. It's fascinating stuff. It's so fun. It's so fun, but might be full of shit. In fact, there's a whole website called sitchiniswrong.com that refutes it, but I'm too dumb to know who's right and who's wrong.
It's still interesting to talk about and theorize, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, the Sumerians had a detailed map of the solar system 6,000 years ago, bizarrely, with the sun in the center and all the planets that we know of in the relative size and the relative order. Like the ones that are the right, not exactly the right size because they're so fucking huge, but the bigger ones are in the
Just
bigger
relative,
place.
yeah.
And it shows this map of the solar system on this clay tablet from 9,000 or 6,000 years ago. Like, how did they know that?
Yeah, it goes back to the advanced civilization, man. I don't know. I just
How
really think
advanced do you think?
I think it was a different type of advance, like not power lines and stuff like that. I think they honed into like natural energy from the earth. Like I heard something about the pyramids may have been like some type of a power plant because they just found
yeah.
where those pillars go down in the ground so long.
That stuff's wild.
Yeah.
That stuff's wild. I did this dude Ben Van Kerkwyk, and they've used that same technology to find this enormous labyrinth that existed, but that was also documented historically. Herodotus talked about it, and different historians have talked about it. This labyrinth that's even more impressive than the pyramids underground. And inside, using this technology, they've found this 40 meter, this metallic, they don't know what kind of metal it is, but there's a metallic tic-tac shaped object that's 40 meters long at the center of this labyrinth. So they built a dam in the 1960s to help the farmers out, and the dam unfortunately fucked up the water table, so this labyrinth is now flooded. So you can't get in it unless they do something to change the water and, change how the water is channeled or build a tunnel inside of it. But the water table has made it impossible to get into it without doing that. But this thing, because of this tomography, this ground penetrating radar, they know that there's an enormous metallic object from thousands and thousands of years ago that's 40 meters long.
Are they actively trying to figure it out, like get in there?
There are researchers that are, but the problem is there's a lot of resistance from the Egyptian government.
I figured.
Yeah, they don't want any monkey wrench in the timeline that they've been teaching forever.
Yeah, I've seen one article. They just discovered some ancient city, and it was like they discovered something. It was related to Christianity, like they discovered something, Christ is king, but long story short, the whole entire project just got shut down, and they passed a law you can't dig there for like 20 years.
I think you're talking about Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Göbekli Tepe, which is in Turkey. They found that by accident. It was a farmer. A farmer was I think it was a sheep herder actually. He found some stone that was in the ground. He's like kicked at it and was like cleaned it off a little bit, and then realized it had a right angle to it. And it's like, what the hell is this? And then he dug a little deeper, and then they called in the archaeologists. And they said, hey, we got something here. And then they discovered that there's these concentric circles and these huge stone columns and 3D animals, and they've only uncovered 5% of it so far.
Wow.
And they kind of stopped digging because they get an enormous amount of tourist revenue where people going to want to come to the site, and they didn't want to fuck that up. And there's a lot of weirdness when you let these governments decide what can and can't be explored.
Yeah.
Because through ground penetrating radar, they realize that this site, even though they've only excavated 5% of it, is one of many sites that are in that area. And the age of it is really fascinating because this was intentionally covered somewhere around 11,000 years ago. So that means that someone decided to cover this all up with dirt 11,000 years ago, which means they don't even know how old it is. It could be 2,000, 3,000 years older than that. They don't know.
And it's just weird to just stop finding that out.
Well, they're getting a lot of pressure now, so they might start opening up the excavation of it. And they did a lot of stupid shit, like they covered it with olive trees for some reason. Yeah, like I think because olive trees are protected, so if they covered it with olive trees, you couldn't dig into the ground, you couldn't remove the olive trees. It was like a way to stop people from looking around.
Interesting.
Yeah, but now they realize that the olive trees, the roots are actually destroying the artifacts that are underneath. So now they're pulling the olive trees, and there's discussions about continuing the excavations.
I got off on a giant kick one time reading about giant. And it's like anytime the Smithsonian got involved, it was just shut down.
Yeah. The giant stuff is weird because there's a lot of documentation of people finding giants, like enormous
giant bones,
10, 15 foot tall humans. And then there's also the Nephilim in the Bible that are giants that consumed everything. David and Goliath. There's giants in the Bible. And it makes you think, like, okay, is it a giant like the mountain from the Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Because people were shorter and relatively back then.
Right, but probably some people weren't if they lived in some places where they had more resources and better genes. Yeah.
Pituitary gland problems, where we have guys 7'11" plus,
Yep, but this seems different. The giants in the Bible and the giants in historical accounts, it seems different. It seems like it's a totally different species of human. And again, if we just found this guy recently that's 1 million years old, and now we know. So forever they were saying that human beings, the timeline used to be Homo sapiens emerged 50,000 years ago, and then they moved it to 150, then they moved it to 250, 300, as they find more information. Now they have to push it to 1 million. And if one day they find a fucking head as big as this table, like, what do they do? What do they do about that? Do they even tell us?
I don't think they would.
I don't think
why wouldn't they? That's what's weird. Like, why wouldn't they? Isn't that crazy? But we all agree. We all agree that if they did find a giant, they probably wouldn't tell us.
Yeah.
But not until they did their own, figured it out for themselves or tested on what they want.
I don't know if they want people to know, but I don't know why they wouldn't want people to know. Like, why am I convinced that they would hide that?
Well, if there is Antichrist on his way, and his goal, he already knows he lost. So his goal at this point is just to destroy as much as possible, get as many souls as possible. And finding stuff like that would prove the Bible more true would turn more people to Christianity or to God, the one true God. Then I could see where if there is like some type of spiritual force that is in somewhat control, then I could see that's the only way I can make sense of it. Is like, why cover up progress? Why not tell people the truth? Because
I think it's ego, and that might be also related to good and evil in a lot of ways.
Loving yourself, and you're supposed to love God over yourself.
Right, and being the person that has the knowledge and the person that distributes that knowledge and is the gatekeeper of it is a very intoxicating thing for a lot of these academics. And if all of a sudden something comes along and this is the speculation about what happened with the Smithsonian, that they took that stuff and just fucking tucked it away.
I would think they
femur bones.
They would want to have secretly do their own tests without anybody knowing about it.
I know,
'Cause
but
once you
for
open
to what end? At what point in time?
before everybody else knows, they would already have the answers. I don't know.
But wouldn't there be a time where someone would want to be the guy who discovered it all and get all the credit for it? Like, that's why it doesn't make sense.
To me, if somebody knows God, it is freeing in a lot of way, and you realize that no government is above you, or no man is above you. God is above you, and you serve God. And if you can keep people away from God, you're that much more susceptible to being a slave to something else. And something else.
Whatever evidence or anything that kind of proves that God exists.
Yeah, anything that's going to prove God's existence,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the main thing they shut down.
Right. Like the Shroud of Turin is an excellent example.
Yeah,
that one's
that's
an interesting
wild.
one.
That's a weird one, man. There's a weird one. There's a lot of people that go out of their way to try to disprove it, but when you get into the dating of the cloth, so it used to be they were saying that it was only a few hundred years old, but now they're saying that the way the cloth is made, the cloth is made that's exactly consistent with the time that Jesus was alive, and that more tests need to be done to find out the exact age of it. Because the problem is, like, you don't know, like, what piece they studied, and you're not studying the entire thing. And also the image of it is bizarre, because the image of it, you really only see Jesus when it's a negative of it. And they don't know how that image was put on there. It wasn't stained. It wasn't burned on there. They don't know what caused it.
A blast of radiation.
Yes,
Right.
somebody recreated it with gamma radiation, I think. But the only problem, so it would just be it would need to be an extreme source of light to do that. But the only problem is that would have vaporized, the heat from the light would have vaporized it realistically. So they're wondering, well, if light did do it, how was there no heat?
Right.
So if Christ did raise and pass through it, there's also X-ray images in the shroud apparently.
Well, you see this when you see the shroud in negative. Like, Jamie, pull up an image of it. It's very strange. Like, it shows the lash marks on his body.
Yeah.
It shows his facial features. It shows the holes where his wrist is, where he was crucified. It's very strange stuff.
So
Because, like, for someone to do that as a hoax and to just not paint it, to do it in some very weird. Go to that. Yeah, that one right where your cursors are. So over that, make that big.
Recently said it's fake.
They've recently said
They
it's
go
fake?
back and forth
But
on
the
it.
thing
Yeah, it's
is,
been
like,
back and
who is the person who's they, right?
The Catholic Church is who
What's that,
owns
Jamie?
it.
Says they've been debunking it for 650 years.
Well, but 650 years ago, they didn't even have carbon dating. So what were they doing to debunk it back then?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that want to debunk it.
It says there's a
So what
document
does it
they
say?
found.
A document?
Well, they were talking. I mean, I don't know.
Where they talked about it being bullshit?
Yeah, I've
The
also
thing is,
seen
people,
videos.
I'm sure, called bullshit on it
I've
a long
seen videos
time
where
ago.
People have talked about ways that some of that stuff could have been done.
Sure, but how would someone figure out that 500, 1,000, 2,000 years ago, whatever it is?
It could have been 300, 200, 150,
Sure.
60 years ago.
Well, it's 650 years. If they've been debunking it for 650 years, you got to assume it's at least 650 years old.
Well,
So the thing is, like, see, it's been dated between 1355 and 1382. So
The text was the document
the text, what text?
that we're talking about here, not the shroud.
What is the text about? Medieval document revealed the authenticity of the shroud that many believe wrapped and crucified was being called into question perhaps as early as 1355. Okay, well, that means that it existed 1355.
yeah.
Depictions by clergymen. See, it's hard.
Deceptions.
Deceptions by clergymen. His writings, now considered the oldest written rejection of the relic, predate the previous earliest documented criticism by the Bishop of Troyes, Pierre d'Arcis, in 1389. So either way, we know it's at least 600 plus years old, and we know that the way that it was put on there was not stained, it was not painted. It's very strange. And if you look at it like that, they didn't even know that until they came up with photography, until they could take an image of it and make it a negative. They didn't see the face of Jesus and all the depictions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this image right here is like, you look at that, the Shroud of Turin, like, yeah, I could say call bullshit, whatever. But then you see the negative, I go back to those other images. So this is what it looks like when you run it through, when you use modern photography and turn it into a negative. That's really weird.
Yeah.
That this wasn't that they didn't know about this in the 1300s.
Yeah.
A new study says it's something else. So they're going to have studies forever that debunk it. And one thing that academics love to do, they love to call everybody retarded.
Yep.
Everybody's an idiot. This is all fake. This is bullshit. But whatever that is, man, when you're just go back to the negative ones, the one that you just had, the one down, right? Yeah, that one, please. That's weird as fuck to me, man.
So
That's weird as fuck that you couldn't see it normally, and you only see it when they make a negative of it. That is so strange that someone would go out of their way to fake something in that way, where it only exists in a negative.
Well, they don't even know how it happened.
Right, exactly. They don't know how to. I mean, they're saying they could reproduce it today, but I don't think anybody has. And also, how are you going to reproduce it to such an extent with so much detail that matches the biblical depiction of the crucifixion?
Yeah.
Including the holes in the wrist, the lash marks on his back, the wound in his side. It's all really weird. At the very least, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really interesting stuff.
To me, that seeing that, I really don't even care how old people think it is, or like figure out how they did that first. To me, it's like if this is
not only that, how'd they do that 600 fucking years ago, or 2,000 years ago, or whatever age it actually is.
I seen one article last year where they found dirt particles that matched, that trace back to Jerusalem. So
yeah,
it's. Like I say, they've been debunking it and saying it's authentic and debunking it. It seems like for the last 5 or 10 years now.
Oh, it's very weird stuff.
It's just where are we at right now with it?
That one church in Ethiopia that's supposed to have the Ark of the Covenant there.
Yeah.
And all the people that guard it, they all get cataracts and they wind up dying of radiation.
I haven't heard that
See,
one.
You ever heard of that?
I don't know about that, because the Ark of the Covenant was when God the Father's presence was here on earth, not through Jesus. Old Testament, the I Am was down here, and that's what he resided in. And you had to do all these things to be in his presence, or you would literally just die because, he's holy. And to me, it's like lightness and dark cannot exist in the same place. So whatever. But God the Father's presence isn't there anymore, so I don't understand why it would still be messing people up.
Well, we don't know what they were writing down, right?
Yeah.
The problem with all ancient religious texts, let's assuming there was real events.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is a lot of these things were told as an oral tradition for 100, 500, 1,000 years before they're ever even written down. And then they write them down. They write them down in Aramaic. They write them down in Hebrew. They write them, and then they have to translate it. And they translate it to Greek and Latin and then eventually English. You're missing a lot along the way. When I read these things, when I read the Bible, or if I read the Book of Enoch or any of these ancient texts, I'm always trying to say, okay, what were they trying to document?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the original event? Like, what actually happened? And the problem is people are really bad at telling the truth. Like, human beings, when they see something fantastic, they always add their own little flavor to it. People add their own little thing to it. If they are of a certain belief, they're going to attach that belief to whatever this thing was. So it's no question that these people held whatever that was in such high regard, and it meant so much to them that they, like the book of Isaiah, where it's verbatim, that they wrote it verbatim for 1,000 years. Back when they started out, they were writing things down on animal skins. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things about the Dead Sea Scrolls that's so fascinating, is they had to do genetic testing. So they're writing these things down on these animal skins, and they had to make sure that the skin of this one is the same cow as the skin of this one. So if they do like genetic testing to make sure it's the same cow skin, so okay, we got all the skin from this cow, and it's in this group of text. So start decoding it.
That's an interesting way of doing it. That's wild.
It's wild.
I would have never thought of that.
And like Wes Huff said, how they used to write things, like they'd leave stuff out back then because it wasn't required back then. They would just write down the basics. I watched that Wes Huff thing, and that was very interesting.
He's fascinating.
He's brilliant, man. I've watched a bunch of stuff on him.
Very brilliant. But it's again, what were they trying to document?
Yeah.
There's clearly something was going on back then. Something happened.
Did you ever read that story? It was somewhere in the Bible. I can't remember where. It's in the Old Testament. Somebody stole the ark. Well, some tribe stole the ark, and like the next day, the next morning, like everybody was dead from stealing the ark, and they pretty much said, "Hey, come get this thing, take it back."
Yeah, we don't want it. We're good.
Well, that's what people believe is in this church in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
You know, because there's these Ethiopian Jews who also, their Bible is the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
Do we have an image of this?
No, you can't see it. Nobody can get. I say, send in the SEALs. We need to fucking
SEAL Team 6.
find out what the fuck is in there, bro. Put these guys in hazmat suits and let's
If
get to
the
the
U.S.
bottom
knows
of
you
this.
got it, it's going to be ours.
Well, yeah, you would imagine.
We're going to take it.
I would
Or
like
they
to
might
see
not know at all.
Well, what would happen with remote viewers if remote viewing is real? Get remote viewers in a
man.
room and
We have talked about
You
that.
just get
My
blind.
brother is big on
Oh,
he
yeah.
went down a remote viewing rabbit hole. He was big
yeah.
on it.
I thought it was 100% horseshit about 10 years ago.
What about the
And then over
submarine?
time, yeah. No, the submarine's big. The one that they found the Soviet submarine that they were building.
Yeah.
They knew the exact location. Not just that, remote viewers found a downed aircraft that was in Siberia. They located it within a 3-mile radius. They found it. They knew where it was. And the United States went in and got it before the Soviet Union could.
Using remote viewers. to do
Yeah,
that.
using remote viewers. Like they've got actionable information from remote viewers. Allegedly. Allegedly.
To me, it feels like it's just to scare the Soviets. Like, oh, we got people with superpowers. We know where the submarine is.
Or they're doing it too.
Or they're doing it too.
Or is this something that people realize that there is a developing aspect of human consciousness, or an aspect of human consciousness that used to exist that we forgot, that we don't know how to do anymore? One of those things.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting concept, yeah.
It is, because the remote viewer thing, they spent a fuckload of money on that, and they kept that program going on for a long, long time. And you know, I don't know what they discovered and what they didn't. You know, it's unless you're in the room with the people that have the top secret information, who knows?
That whole Cold War time is also just wild. I see why we would have faked a lot of stuff
Sure.
on both sides.
Oh,
It's just
for
a
sure.
big bluff game of we can do this, we have this.
Yep.
Andy just started believing in the in us getting to the moon.
Well,
first.
once
That
we
was
went
just, like, recently.
once we went to NASA in Texas, but also that documentary, the other footage that came out. I don't really know. I
but-
could see why we would fake it. I mean, it's Soviets.
Yeah, I
We
can
wanna
see
beat
where we
them?
could fake it.
That's the U.S. government. We'd fake anything.
Yeah,
For a- Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no.
I was saying for a while though, before that documentary came out, the story, well, we lost the footage, we lost all of it, and it's like, did they just wait for technology to progress to be able to make a convincing documentary?
Well, they definitely lost the footage. They lost all the original copies of the film. So all the original film is gone. What you're seeing is just copies of copies. They also lost the telemetry data, which is a real problem. That's the hard data, the binary data that shows the distance in the craft and how far it was. It just seems fake. It seems fake when you watch it. That's what's weird to me. It seems totally hokey. It looks fake as shit. And then the weird one for me is the Apollo 11 post-flight press conference. Those guys look like a hostage video. It doesn't look real at all. And then there's Neil Armstrong, who gave that very bizarre, cryptic speech at the 25th anniversary of the Apollo moon landing. There's a lot of weirdness to them. And the fact that we haven't been back. There's not a single thing that's not cheaper, easier, and faster to reproduce from 1969 in 2025, except the moon landing.
Yeah,
Well-
and it's just weird. Like, if it is true, I seen a video of like something that was supposedly live streamed on the news back then, and it was just this guy who was obviously hanging from a cable, and he had this pathetic looking Earth under him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not at all what actual space looks like now. But this was like on the news apparently.
Well, that's probably not real. That's probably an artist's rendition or recreation. But how about the phone call? Nixon is calling the guys from hey, fellas, I hear you're on the moon. Yes, sir, we're on the moon. I can't even get fucking cell phone service in my bathroom.
What else?
What's their explanation for how
Retro
how
reflectors?
those reflectors got up there?
Well,
if we
first of
didn't go?
all, the Russians put reflectors as well, so you can definitely remotely place reflectors. The other problem is the moon itself reflects. So there's a lot of weird arguments about that. I could see how you could say, oh, there's reflectors, and that would indicate that people were there. But
show us the flag. Do we not have a? Can we point James Webb over there? And
no. That's deep space. It's a different thing. You'd have to get a different kind of technology that's just to zoom in on the moon, and they would go, why would we do that? Why would we spend billions and billions of dollars to prove something that rational people think definitely happened?
It's a lot of people that would have to hold a secret too.
Not really.
You don't think so?
No, because it's compartmentalized. It's compartmentalized. The only people that would really need to know are the people who made the footage, the people that are involved in the filming, and the actual astronauts themselves. Everybody else, you're getting fed data, okay?
Yeah, they would believe that's happening.
Yeah, not only that, when the first time when Apollo 11 happened, they weren't allowed to get a direct feed from from NASA. So what they did was they used a projection screen, and then all the news cameras pointed their cameras at the projection screen. That's why it looks like shit. Like the Apollo 11 video looks so bad. But it seems like that was on purpose. Like they made it look like shit on purpose.
Interesting.
And if you wanted to gain technological and, ethical and moral superiority over the evil communists, you could see why you would make some sort of a rationalization, why you should fake that we have the ability to go to the moon. Because the ability to go to the moon is not just scientific, it's military.
Yeah.
It's a military might. Like, we have the best rockets, we have the best this, we have the best. We got the best. We went to the moon. We definitely did it. So it just makes sense that they would fake it.
And the blow of Sputnik flying over the United States, and everybody could see it. It's like we can put this right above your country.
I'm just saying, if they were giving people LSD in brothels, I could see them faking the moon.
Yeah, 100%.
Most of history.
I'm not 100%.
Most of United States history is full shit. At least some aspect of it. Look, what got us into the Vietnam War, Gulf of Tonkin, never happened. Full shit. False flag event. They all throughout history, all throughout the United States history in the 1960s, during the same time where they were supposedly going to the moon, they lied constantly at every fucking turn. At every turn.
And who's to say they're not still doing that?
It was easier to
It's hard to trust.
They are. They 100% are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I know people in government that will tell you, they'll like, put your phone down, let's go for a walk. And they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Yeah.
I want that.
Those conversations are strange.
One of my favorite things is the pizza ordering at the Pentagon.
Oh, yeah.
When shit starts to go down, the spike in pizza ordering because people are working late.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very weird. Yeah.
And it just spiked. I saw, I think a couple weeks ago, because I brought it up. I was like, I got a notification, it's like pizza spike.
I know. People started thinking we're going to war.
It was at a high that was like the Panama stuff, Vietnam.
Isn't that funny? It's pizza
awesome.
Deliveries is what freaks everybody out. Oh, they're working late. They're working late. They're ordering pizza.
And now they just called all the generals together. Have you seen that?
Yeah, Hegseth did. But supposedly what they're doing is they want to get all the generals together and give them some sort of a moral and ethical mandate.
Yeah.
Like preparedness. This is what we want the military to be.
No more beards and stuff.
No more fucking politics and no more identity politics and bullshit. The most important thing is be ready. Yeah. Be ready. Have the best, most capable military that's humanly possible, given the resources that we have today. This is what our goal is. This is what our job is.
And they needed to call everybody together to do that?
Well, you saw what the fuck was going on over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
You got guys in dresses talking about how it's really important to have inclusiveness. It's the most important thing about the military is inclusivity. Like, we had crazy people that were in charge of very important positions, including that guy that was stealing women's clothes.
Yeah.
That guy was in charge of, like, fucking nuclear waste, and he's running around stealing people's underwear.
The panty raid.
With lipstick and a bald head. Not just stealing, but he stole this one lady who was like a famous designer. It was a one-off dress, and then that's how he got busted. He wore it to some event, and the lady was like, "Hey, motherfucker, that's mine." Like, someone stole that shit from the airport. And that's how he got busted.
It's a South Park episode.
Yeah, it is a South Park episode.
Is it? Is it a South Park episode?
No, we live in a South Park episode.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
It's getting wild, man.
Yeah.
It is wild, but it's like, it's always been wild. And this is one of the good things about Trump being elected and Trump in office is that it kind of threw because they didn't want Emp to be the president, and it threw a monkey wrench into all these things that they were doing. And you get to see a lot of these people scramble, and you get to see, like, oh, this is there's so much, like all the Doge stuff where they uncovered all these NGOs.
That was crazy.
There's an NGO for, I think it's every 600 people in India.
Yeah.
You know how crazy that is? There's a non-government organization for every, I think it's like 500 or 600 people in India. There's like millions of them. It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Elon explained it to me too. He said what you would do is you would make this non-profit, and you would call this you'd put a bunch of money into it. So you put like $10 million, relatively small to them, $10 million to this thing, and call it like Agency for Peace, Center for Peace, whatever it is. And then that becomes a non-government organization. And then you get politicians to dump tons of money into this NGO, and then through this NGO you profit.
It's like a shell company.
Yeah. And there's a ton of those. And there's so many of them, they couldn't even keep track of them. And the more they dug into it, the more they started calling Elon a Nazi. And it just got wild.
They don't like when the elites don't like when the curtain's pulled back.
Well, that was the curtain being pulled back. That was the curtain being pulled back in a way that most people were not aware. And when I brought Mike Benz in, and Mike Benz laid it all out, and he was explaining that what U.S. aid was for was the things that were too dirty for the CIA to get involved in. So a lot of it was like regime change operations. Yeah. It was like outlining all these different regime change operations that were all being paid for, and then your tax dollars being dumped into these NGOs, and then people are pulling money out of it, and billions of dollars.
It's the world's piggy bank.
Why did they stop digging? Are they still digging? Like Doge?
I don't know.
Because I know Elon's not in the White House anymore, but
it was supposed to be a temporary thing, right?
But it just seems like it all just stopped.
Well, you don't hear about it anymore. That's true. But I think it was real problematic. I mean, they did shut down U.S. aid. And they turned Elon into a fucking Nazi. I mean, how many fucking Teslas got keyed and tires got slashed, and his business was really troubled by it. And so he's like, I'm done. I'm stepping away. You guys, you didn't follow my instructions. You didn't follow my recommendations. So what can I do? You're ruining my life. So I'm just going to back out of this.
Go back to building rockets.
So he's just going back to building rockets.
Well,
and the thing is, like, they didn't even care that he rescued those people from the fucking space station, which was wild. Like, no one wanted to give him credit. No one wanted to say thank you. They're like, no, he's a Nazi. Yeah. People I know were calling him a Nazi because he spazzed out and went, my heart goes out to you.
Oh, yeah. We make fun of that all the time.
Crazy.
Yeah, someone just took a still image, you know?
The guy literally has a chain around his neck that was given to him by one of the mothers of one of the hostages in Israel that says, bring them all home.
Yeah.
He wears it around his neck. That's what a Nazi does? Like, are you fucking kidding me? You think he's a Nazi? There's no evidence that he's a Nazi other than one hand movement.
Yeah.
That's it?
Well, it's like the whole right's being called Nazis. Why are we throwing that word around?
Well, that word doesn't mean anything when everybody's a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so stupid. It's just they overplayed that hand.
It started off being pretty strong and having a lot of weight, but now, you know, it's just like they use it all the time. And it's
everybody's a Nazi, and then if you're not, you're a communist. Yeah. I mean, it's just
communists are real.
And everything's so extreme right now.
I think Nazis are real too. That's the part of the problem. When you call everybody a Nazi, well, the problem is that word gets overused, and now legitimate Nazis can just operate with impunity. Like, they're real. There's legit Nazis out there.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't even really know what a Nazi is at that point.
It's squirrely. It's squirrely as fuck. And the government just is too big. It's too big. There's too much going on, and you can only do so much to make it effective. And so this administration has 4 years, and who knows what they're going to be able to get done or not get done. And there's a lot of things they're doing that make people very upset, like all the ICE stuff and the raids. And
do you see Ice Cube's
tour
bus? Have you seen that?
No.
They burnt his bus down.
Portland, the Antifa people burnt Ice Cubes because they thought it was the ICE bus.
They thought it was the ICE bus?
Yes. You haven't seen this?
No.
Oh, yeah. I just watched. I didn't mean to interrupt you on it, but it just hit me. I saw that this a couple days ago.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, burned it to the ground.
Is there a reaction video?
I'd love to see Ice Cube's reaction.
Bro, Portland is wild.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys tour in Portland?
Yeah, we've done it. We actually had a good show there, but when you walk
people
around,
are so happy.
It is zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And we were just, another one, San Francisco. First time for us going to San Francisco was about a month ago. And we were in the, whatever they call the Tenderloin, and it is a madhouse. There's people blowing up fireworks. Some homeless people blowing up these fireworks in the middle of the night on the street. Me and Drew's just watching them out the window. We're watching crime happen.
Yeah, San Francisco is pretty buck wild. And then the mayor came out and said, we're making a declaration. No one can sleep on the street. You can no longer loiter. You can only do that. And then go look at San Francisco right now. It's exactly the same. It's just talk.
Is San Francisco where they cleaned up?
The Chinese president.
The Chinese
came.
president.
Because Xi Jinping was in town.
Oh,
and then
royalty's
Gavin Newsom
coming.
said, well, when you have visitors over, you clean up your house. Like,
Yeah.
bitch, why don't you just keep your fucking house clean? Why you got shit on your floor?
100%.
Human shit all over your streets.
Yeah, man. That's the questions that everybody needs to be asking.
But this is the question.
It's possible.
What if I wanted to ruin society and get it to a point where everybody, you needed to control things because it got so chaotic that you can institute some sort of a digital ID and institute social credit score? That's how you would do it. You would. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but that's how I would do it. What I would do is I would just let people out of jail the moment they do anything. Let them camp on the streets. Give them money for drugs. Just let it go crazy, and then have everybody like scrambling, please take away our freedom to give us safety.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Well, you can't blame people for asking these kinds of questions when you go to other countries and it's safe to walk around at night and it's a pretty clean city. It's like, why don't we have this? You know, you can't blame a society for asking those kinds of questions from their leaders. Why are you and why did you just clean up for a foreign government to come visit, which is cool or whatever, but you proved that you could.
Yeah.
And then, like, why don't we just have that all the time?
Yeah.
I think there needs to be more stuff directed towards mental health.
Bro.
A lot of those homeless people and people on drugs some of them are like mentally ill and
100%.
but we don't have any treatment for people like that hardly.
Well, it
anywhere.
all skyrocketed during the Reagan administration because they changed the laws in terms of like what you're supposed to do when someone's mentally ill, and they just like let them loose. Let's stop paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
when
don't
you
have
did that-
insane asylums anymore or anything.
But then again, you hear stories about
Yeah.
insane
Well, yeah.
asylums, like that's not good either.
We would hope we'd have some good ones.
But it's just like some people
They need a place
are
to
out there
go.
with no family.
Right.
There's like, their family died when they were 18
Yep.
and they're not mentally able to function in society. They've been homeless for 20 years.
100%.
We need a place for people like that.
Yes,
I have a
100%.
very, very close family member right now that's homeless and mentally ill, and that's all I want, man, is for people to I don't know what needs to happen, but we need to get these people help.
100%.
Like-
Yeah, 100%. And that should be something that we do spend money on.
I'd roll
Yeah.
tax dollars to go to something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Everybody, right or left, everybody would. You want people to get a chance. I mean, the best stories ever are people that they were in the gutter, like living on the streets, and now all of a sudden they're helping people. They run some sort of a non-profit food kitchen, and they're helping people get clean, and they found life's purpose, and running, whether it is some sort of a religious class or something that gives people hope and gives people something that, then they can tell you, like, hey, I used to be where you are, and now I'm not, and now I'm helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, right or left, like, this divide that we have in this country, most of it's bullshit,
Yep.
and most of it is, like, it's engineered. And
Yeah.
it's engineered to keep us at each other's throats so they can keep getting away with all this nonsense.
Yeah.
And we keep eating it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And doubling down.
It could be like if the president said, don't go buy, or something about bananas.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a banana today. The left would never eat another banana in the
Look
day
at
of their
this
life.
Tylenol
Or the
thing.
Tylenol thing.
Look at this
Tylenol said in 2017, we actually don't recommend you take our product.
But to
pregnant.
see people,
2017, they said.
Yeah. Well, not
Even-
only that, 2 years ago, Johnson & Johnson separated from Tylenol. Tylenol became its own company,
whoa, didn't
which
know
is
that.
probably like they saw it coming down the pipe, and they're like, hey,
We're jumping.
Yeah.
All about the money.
Well, here's what's really crazy. A lot of fucking crazy leftist women started taking Tylenol to own JFK or RFK Jr. and Trump. And a bunch of them died of liver toxicity.
They
Oh, I
took
didn't
too
know
much.
that.
Yeah. Have you...
I knew it was going to happen.
A
It's
friend of
full
mine...
TikTok. Pregnant women just taking Tylenol, just out of spite.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Why let something dictate your life that much?
Because a lot of people are nuts, man. A lot of people just that don't have any critical thinking skills, and they're in a cult.
They need to find a hobby.
Yeah.
They're in a cult,
man.
whether they're in a MAGA cult or they're in a leftist
Yeah.
cult. They're in a fucking cult.
Yeah, I
and,
agree.
And they're all in on one side or the other side, and I think humanity exists in the middle. And humanity exists in the middle where you're supposed to be able to talk about ideas. And you're supposed to say, well, what's a good for just overall society? Like mental health institutions, like giving people some sort of a chance to become a productive member of society. Like there's a lot of things that we all agree on.
Yeah.
And we need to find common ground, and instead of like fighting and instead of polarizing people. And this is one of the problems that I have with this administration, is that they're really good at like pointing fingers at the other side and polarizing, and really bad at uniting us all and not attacking the other side and just uniting us and bringing us together.
What was the last administration that was good at uniting, in your opinion?
Ooh.
Or has it just always been a divide?
Well, it's kind of always been like that.
would
But maybe the Clinton administration, maybe the first one.
Yeah.
Maybe
Bush
Clinton.
9/11.
Yeah,
everybody
Bush
was
9/11. But boy,
on the same team for at least a year.
He was pretty divisive. Like,
oh, he was
Well,
super divisive
yeah.
before that. That's for damn sure.
It was
People
an
hated
outside
him.
influence.
But it's like, what did they do with that unitedness? They forced us into a war over a bullshit premise. I mean, that just shows you what they're really willing to do if they have everybody's will.
Yep.
If they have everybody on their side, like, okay, great, let's invade Iraq. Let's lie about
The
weapons
war
of
on
mass
terrorism.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
They
go
got
anywhere with that.
nuclear weapons.
Yeah. Well, that's all you have to do. Say they hate us for our freedom. Oh no, go fuck them up.
And take their oil.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of crazy, but we always fall for it, and hopefully we fall for it less and less every year. But it doesn't seem like it when you see pregnant ladies chewing Tylenol.
Yeah.
We're in
I
a
guess
crazy
we're
time.
nuts.
Again, that's what the song touches on. We're actually going to put it out October 3rd because of it.
I listened to it in the gym today.
People hating?
Yeah,
You like
yeah.
it?
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love the whole album. It's really great.
Just jaded on it, man.
Yeah.
Tired of people hating each other.
Oh, it's sick. It's sick and it's unnecessary. And you don't get much time, folks. You don't get much time in this life. You get 100 years if you're lucky. And you're going to waste it fighting ideological battles on Twitter and Facebook? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know? And you're trapped. You're trapped on your phone. You're trapped, like, checking to see how people are engaging with your latest outrage tweet.
I cannot, dude.
Good for you.
I cannot look at the comments. And I think I learned that from you. But
Yeah. Go post and ghost.
Post and ghost, baby.
I just, like, I've seen some of these things and I know it's all bullshit. Like, somebody's just coming on here to rile me up. But, like,
David 36907.
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
but
there's so many of them.
on the inside, it kind of gets to you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And I just don't,
Not me,
rather
son.
not. Yeah.
Right.
I eat it up, son. Keep
Do you?
doing it. Yeah, I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing this if I cared about people's opinion. You know what I mean?
But you do care about good people's opinion.
Yeah.
You just don't care about the negative opinions?
I don't care about the negative opinions because
Yeah.
I'm doing it for God, pretty much. But I mean, anytime I post a cover song, sorry, not Waylon. Sorry, nobody will ever be George Jones. Wasn't trying to be. I'm just
Right.
singing a song. It's not that deep.
Johnny Cash will never be 9 Inch Nails. You know, when
Yeah.
he made
Yeah.
Hurt. It's just a different thing, man. You can enjoy it without saying that. But there's a lot of people that are just negative. And it's why? It's because their life sucks. Do you think Michael Jordan leaves YouTube comments? No.
Yeah.
No.
Because he's a fucking winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's really what it is. It's like a lot of our society, their main contribution is bitching.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they spend most of their energy on.
We want to keep it about music, man.
Good
And
for you,
There's
man.
a lot of drama in the world, and if somebody tried to start drama with us, I don't even know if we would even reply. I don't.
Yeah.
It's a fake place. You think I'm going to waste my time arguing with you on social media? You know, I'm not. Cool. That's what you think. All right.
It's one of the few things that we have that really unites us. You know, really does. Like, you can get people of all persuasions, all different kinds of backgrounds, just love a good song.
Well, you know,
It's universal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird about social media too is the algorithm. Like someone left leaning will have a completely different comment section than someone right leaning.
Oh,
the
yeah.
echo
Living in an
chamber.
echo chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really bad because then you think, look, and then when the election happens, you're like, what? What is going on?
I
How
thought
do
we
you
were
not
gonna
think
win.
the way I think? Yeah.
We're all people, man.
Yeah, I just wish someone would come along that was a great uniter, and hopefully they won't get shot.
Yeah. Jeez.
Jesus.
Well, maybe it would.
They killed him first, though. But
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it back then too.
If Jesus did come back today, boy, would that be fascinating. Like, just to see how people.
Oh God!
react.
Oh God! I believe. I'm sorry.
It'd be
Yeah.
relieving, honestly. I mean,
Could you imagine though, like I don't know. I don't want to throw shade on anybody, but like just dying. It's like, oh God, dang it. They were right. It's like, I know. I'll see myself out on it.
Just go ahead and walk that, walk the other way.
Right. You get to the pearly gates, you're like, no shit. Really? And then St. Peter's like, come here, talk to you about some things.
See, for me,
Oh, dude, I didn't know. If I
admit-
knew, I would have never done all this. I would have never lied about my taxes. I would have never, done any of those
it's a
things.
little late then. I'd
would
have
never-
to make a stop at Purgatory on the way. That's where I'll be.
Yeah,
I'll be there eventually.
but music is the great uniter.
Andrew's
it
the only
is-
Catholic in the band.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like, again,
So you believe in purgatory?
but we coexist.
Yeah,
You know, just
it's
like-
we have we talk about, we have like a little random Bible study that pop up. We just talk about the Bible. I pull out my catechism. You know, it's fun.
I'm just going to be laughing at you because God probably will send you to a purgatory because you believed in it.
Hey, he might be sending you. We don't know.
No, I
we'll
don't-
know
I don't
when we get
believe in
there. I'm gonna see y'all in that.
Well, when was Catholicism established?
With Jesus Christ, when he was crucified.
That's when it was started?
Yeah, he told St. Peter, "I'll build on top of you. You are the rock I will build my church on." And you know where his bones are? In the Vatican, underneath St. Peter's Basilica.
Interesting. Vatican's got a lot of stuff. St. Peter's
Just
Basilica
went.
is wild.
Just went for my honeymoon. Insane. It was, even if you're not Catholic, just going there. They
Right.
have a whole museum. It's insane.
Are we going
Insane.
in Europe?
No, that's
no,
down
we
in Rome. We won't make
Okay.
it that far, but
Either way, Rome is pretty bizarre to look
Oh.
at too. But there is nothing. There's nothing like St. Peter's Basilica.
it is. It's like
Also, by the way, how crazy is it that Rome is its own country? How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have their own. It's a country. It's like 50 acres or some shit.
Yeah.
yeah, the Vatican.
The Vatican,
Yeah.
rather. Excuse me, not Rome.
And you have
Oh,
to
the
wait in
Vatican's-
line. Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to wait in
Vatican.
line to enter in the
Yeah.
morning when we went.
Yeah.
But the
do
Vatican being
passport?
its own country
No,
is
no
so
passport.
strange. And then you get in it, and you're like, this might be the richest country ever.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the art. They have
Yeah.
so much
They
art.
have so much art. It's
And-
just
Are there
St.
houses?
Peter's Basilica, whatever you believe, if you go to that, you'll be awestruck.
it's literally like you walk in
Look
and you
at
get
that. There it is.
you're just covered
You're blown
in
away.
chills. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
blown away. And didn't it take like 400 or 500 years to make?
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I
I mean,
think- I mean,
it's
this
old.
was all people with no computers and no power drills.
Yeah, man.
No power saws. Like, how dedicated were you, motherfuckers?
I will say that's what some of my favorite memories of Europe last year was seeing cathedrals, how
Cathedrals,
beautiful they are. It's kind of screwed up. They were like charging people at the door.
No, that was no.
look
That's
at that.
that's
Yeah, it
Anglican.
wasn't, it wasn't Catholic,
Yeah.
no.
Catholics,
Look at that.
you can enter.
Yeah.
Anglican
Just-
will charge you.
And when you see it, the photos are beautiful, but being there in person, you realize the scale of it all,
Hmm.
and it's almost impossible. It's impossible to imagine the dedication and the craftsmanship that was involved in making
Yeah.
something so incredible.
And there's a whole crypt underneath with all the.
It's like we moved backwards. How did
Yeah.
stuff stop being beautiful?
They made construction methods got much more convenient.
You see like a picture of a train from back in the day? How like just beautiful a public train used to be?
Oh, yeah.
Old cars are just.
How about you ever see
sexy.
economy seating from like the 1960s?
I wish I could have
looked
flew back then.
amazing.
They were smoking cigarettes on them.
Turning up
Yeah.
back then on flights, dude.
Yeah.
They were smoking cigarettes in couches. They had these
Yeah.
big ass seats. Everybody looked relaxed.
Rappers don't even do that now. I mean, they were like living it up back then.
Yeah, they were living it up.
I really couldn't imagine sitting on an airplane next to somebody smoking a cigarette. Though.
When I was a
Just
kid, they
smoking
smoked
darts.
on planes.
It has to be suffocating, right?
Oh, it was horrible. And if you got a ticket like late, you had to sit in the smoking section. So you're in the back of the bus or the back of the, plane.
Oh,
But and if you had to go to the toilet, you had to go past all the people smoking.
Wow.
Look at that.
yeah.
Is that even
That's
real?
economy seating.
Did
that
they
looks
not have
nice.
Turbulence?
No wonder people
that
are so
didn't just
depressed
start.
nowadays.
Well, they did have seat belts, didn't they?
They don't.
Or
look like
it doesn't
anyone's
look like
really
they do.
wearing one.
No, don't look
Where
like
the
they
fuck's
have.
all our luggage?
You might die.
Well, the luggage is in overhead compartments. They still have
Oh.
overhead compartments.
Those look pretty shallow.
Yeah, those are overhead compartments.
No lights.
People
Those-
probably
no
traveled.
air-
Do you think that's fake? It might be
It looks
AI
like a
generated.
commercial.
It
They
could
might be
be.
bullshitting us.
But
But there are definitely real
It's 8-year-old
photos.
posts- 8-year-old posts on Reddit.
I think it's legit. Yeah.
And that one, I seen one picture.
747 from the 1960s.
Is there like a stand-up bar? Didn't they have like a stand-up bar section where you walk around and go get a
looks
drink?
different.
So that's a different size
That's not
plane, though.
747, yeah.
But it depends on like where you're going and how far you're flying.
There's no overhead storage, it looks like.
Those people look like they're having a good old time though on those planes.
They were actually talking to each other.
Look at the colors of the seats.
And
Yeah,
by
I
the way,
know.
the stewardesses were hot.
Yeah. It was
They
like
had hot stewardesses.
you had to be hot to be a stewardess back then.
Yeah, weird.
Also, what happened to fashion? These people are dressed up very nice on an airplane. And now people are showing up in yoga pants.
That's first class.
Don't be hating on yoga pants, bro.
I should have worn mine, dang it.
But it went well with your chain. And the mustache.
Yeah.
Nothing but like shirtless, chain, mustache.
Yeah, Theo Von comments coming back. People were like, "Oh, he looks like Matthew McConaughey." I was like, "Dang, were they talking about me?" And they're like, and it was Brandon. And they're like, "Who's this mustache lesbian that keeps talking?" I was like, "Dang,
What did I do?
yeah, what did I do?"
Well, people will find a way to get you.
Yeah, I don't read those. I just have Brandon send me screenshots.
Because you get in there, right?
Yeah, my feelings will get hurt.
Man.
I get a
No,
lot of
not
Elvis,
really.
like, oh, he looks like Elvis. It looks like Elvis. That's why I won't do karate. 'Cause that's just the next thing they'll just tack on. Oh, he's doing karate like Elvis. I'm just like, yeah.
It's a good thing to get out your aggression, though. It's a good thing to calm yourself.
I want to do something, man.
Yeah.
I want to do
Boxing.
boxing.
Do some Muay Thai. Have some guy hold
It's-
pads for you. If you started out with Shotokan,
Yeah.
get some guy to hold pads for you when you're on the road.
Drew's here down 40 plus pounds in the last how long?
I'd say about 10 months.
Really? That's
Yeah.
great. What'd you do?
I fasted, so I did like 16-hour fasts pretty much every day.
Okay. Intermittent fasting.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
And,
Just that alone. Isn't it amazing?
dude, 30 pounds by itself.
Yeah.
And then I started working out a few weeks ago, and I've just been doing it like every single day.
Don't you feel a million times better?
1,000%.
Isn't that crazy? Like, you want to tell people, I know it sucks to start.
Yeah.
Starting something is hard to do. Changing the habits of your life are very hard to do. But if you could do it, God, you'll feel so much better.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can't even go a day without running.
Really?
It feels like I will feel bad.
Isn't that
Like
incredible?
Yeah, dude. I love it so much.
And you think about the time where you felt bad all the time, and that was your base state.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people that are complaining online, too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that they're uncomfortable just walking around
They
in
need
life.
to go exercise.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
filled with anxiety and angst and
Need to get outside and exercise.
Yeah.
just fucking do something.
Take a walk.
Do something.
I mean, it will
Something.
cure a lot of things, just exercise alone.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's 1.25 times better than antidepressants?
Mhm.
Just that alone. 1.25 times better than SSRIs.
everybody's always, it just so blows my mind, even growing up as a kid, all these fat burning pills and all these shortcuts to lose weight
Yeah.
and the Ozempic thing.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no shortcut. It is diet and exercise.
Yeah.
Yep. Lean
Well,
and mean, baby.
I think for people that are like morbidly obese, like something
Yeah.
like Ozempic,
Yeah.
It's going to be
it'll help you.
It's
yeah,
the catalyst of...
the
It'll get you
yeah.
started. Sometimes it's just getting started. It's just like getting momentum going, where you're doing something positive every day, and then next thing you know, it's 5 days in a row. Next thing you know, it's a month in a row. You're like, I'm feeling fucking good. I really have a good program going on now. I'm feeling better. Everything's healthy. And that's a lot of life, is just having positive momentum in the
Well,
right direction.
We're creatures of habit. And we learn to walk by forming a habit. And
Yeah.
you can form good habits.
Yep.
You get to a point where, like you said, I didn't get my running today. I feel weird. And it's like, I need to go to the gym. I need to feel a pump or something. You get that
Yeah.
habit going, man.
And for some people, it's meditation. For some people, it's yoga. But just do something. Do something. Do something positive.
Please.
Don't just exist.
I hope that for America, we'll get fit again.
Well, that would be nice.
We need
I
that.
feel like that's it. I feel like it's shifting. I feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
There's a
have no
lot
evidence
of
to back that
people.
up, but-
There's a lot of people that are shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think like with our grandparents, the importance wasn't known yet of how important moving, like if you don't use your joints, you're going to lose them when you're old. And that's why we have, old people are all slumped over and
Slumped
old.
up.
I hope when our generation gets there, we know how important exercise is. And when we're 80 years old, we can still run a mile,
Or you just go to the doctor and they give you a new body.
Or that too. Yeah.
That's probably going to happen.
Stretch my legs out.
Yeah.
Get some new knees.
Yeah. Just take your brain and download it into a new body.
Have they tried the head transplant yet?
They have done a head transplant.
Did it work?
Yeah, no. The person died, but they kept him alive for a short period of time. They did it to a dog, right?
Yeah, the dog.
And then I think they did do it to a person.
That Nazi video of the dog head's weird.
Yeah.
Made me feel weird.
Well, the Nazis tried a lot of shit. They experimented with a lot of shit. That's what's really dark is like a lot of like medical experiments we found out through
For
the Nazis.
Yeah.
Like spreading intestines across the wall to see how GI tracts work, and yeah,
Like they were poking on people's brain while they were
some
still
sick
active.
people.
It's got to be a smelly room, dude.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Well, with genetic engineering, hopefully they don't have to do any of that. But it is going to be weird if you could just choose your body.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone's going to look beautiful. Everyone's going to be looking like Thor. You know, a bunch of Chris Hemsworths walking around the world. It's going to be very strange.
At that point, God's just going, all right, that's it.
Yep.
Pulling the plug. Let's go.
Too far.
Yeah, maybe.
Me and my wife are looking into IVF right now, and they're like, "Do you want to pick a gender?"
You can do that.
Yeah. I mean, if you had your choice, would you want to pick? And I was like,
That's something you
know.
gotta. I'm gonna need a week to think about.
And why are you looking into IVF? Why are you doing that?
So my wife has scar tissue, and so she had a mass on her one of her fallopian tubes.
Oh, so they have to do it this way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Well, see, in that way, medical science is brilliant,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. And it would be cool if that was covered by insurance.
Yeah, it would be.
there's a program called Carrot now that runs through our insurance that you can do it on.
Oh, what?
So it'll
Cool.
I
It's
think
quite expensive, though, right? Isn't it like $30,000 a shot?
something like that.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't always work the first
Yeah.
time. You have to try it again.
Yeah. But my wife puts it as, your baby's just taking the scenic route.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people feel funny about getting IVF, but it's like, there's nothing wrong with IVF.
No.
Listen, if it allows you to become a parent, and it's the most rewarding thing
Yeah.
in life
Yeah.
to become a parent, to me at least, it changes everything, changes your whole life, changes your perspective on things. Dave Chappelle said it best to me. He said, it didn't just change the amount of love I had, it changed my capacity for love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can give that to people, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah. Especially like there's a real population collapse problem.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. In a lot of countries, it's real serious.
There's some
South
countries where it's
Korea.
not. There's some countries where they're overproducing. It's like, isn't England like below the rate they need to be?
Yeah.
And
Japan is
China's-
real bad.
Isn't China's upside down?
I don't know what Japan or China is, but I know Japan has a real issue. South Korea has a huge issue.
It's funny. I wonder why it's the Asian countries.
They work hard.
Just-
They're busting their ass all the time. They don't have
Yeah.
time to make kids. I mean, if you're like super dedicated to work and super disciplined, and South Korea in particular, is very disciplined culture, very hardworking culture. So if they're career oriented and disciplined, those are the type of people that have less kids.
I'd like to see where they're the highest and where they're the lowest, and see, is it like Europe? Is it Northern Europe producing more children?
I've seen a map of it. I can't remember what's what.
Poor countries.
It was kind of
It's a
scary.
lot of poor countries.
Yeah. Because that's how a culture disappears over time, is low birth rates.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So do your part. Get
Have-
that IVF, son.
Have babies.
Have babies. Any more we should cover? We good?
I mean, I think the single coming out October 3rd was all I wanted to make sure I talked about. But I mean, we've talked about a lot.
You guys are fucking great. I enjoy you very much. Listen to you guys all the time in the green room. You're in the green room playlist at the mothership.
Heck yeah.
So we love you guys.
You got to come catch a show sometime.
I would
man.
love to.
Did I tell you the story, the Kill Tony story?
No.
So our first time, 2024 was a wild year for us. Like we got into Kill Tony and we were loving it and watching it. And then a couple months later, it's like, you guys want to go see Shane Gillis? And we were like, yeah. They got us, they pulled us up backstage. And as soon as we get out of the van, Tony's sitting there smoking a cigarette. He's like, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey guys.
And so we were starstruck immediately. And then met Shane, and we kind of felt like Shane didn't know who we were, so we think he slipped off to the green room to look us up and come back.
100%.
It's like, you guys just had a #1 hit. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So you come back
Yeah.
with a Google quote.
Yeah, man.
But that was just incredible. And then like a few months later, we actually get to go to Kill Tony, And that was just another mind-blown, incredible, oh my God, what is happening? And they were like, hey, somebody was like, Rogan wasn't going to come out tonight, but he wants to meet you guys. So, he's going to come out at Mitzi's and talk to you guys. Cool, man. We get a little nervous, a little freaked out. And we were in Mitzi's hanging out with Hans, Cam, and all those guys. And then turn around, and there you are standing there. I was like, oh my God, there he is. And you were standing there talking to people, though.
Yeah, you got swallowed up immediately as you walked in the door.
And me and Andrew were sitting at the bar, and they was like, all right, I'm going in. I was like, no, man, just wait.
I was like, you want to talk to him? I'm just going to send it, buddy. I'll do this for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Joe, this is my friend Brandon.
Yeah, let it happen naturally. Let it happen naturally. And so I was sitting there waiting on my time to strike, and I turned around to talk to somebody, and I turned back around where you were, and you were gone. So I was like, I felt like just the biggest hammer drop of all time. I was like, dang, man. I felt extra bad because I was told that you wouldn't want to come out, but you were coming out to meet us, and I felt like we just sat there and ignored you.
No.
So
No, I didn't know you guys were there.
okay.
I did come out to meet you guys, but I got swarmed, and it was just like, I get weird sometimes. I'm like, gotta go. See ya.
It
I
was
just get out of there.
You
the
had
same
like
thing.
6 people you were carrying a conversation with at one time. So
Yeah.
We
don't
wasn't
blame
about
you.
to be on top
No.
of that.
Well, we know we will cross paths when time's needed.
We did it.
Yeah.
I saw you also, and I missed my chance again at UFC in December
Which one?
in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were commentating, and we were across from you on the other side of the arena. Theo was sitting behind you, I think, and we were on the direct other side. Incredible experience. Oh my God.
This is the first time you guys had ever been?
Yeah, and Theo actually, he got an extra ticket to Super Slap, and he invited me out of that Fontaine
Power
Blue.
Slap.
Power
What
Slap,
a
yeah.
odd sport.
Yeah,
Super Slap's
that
a
won't
better
be
name,
that
by
won't
the
be around for a long
That
time.
is a CT
Yeah.
Fast
brain
lane,
damage.
maybe.
Yeah, a factory.
Oh, yeah.
Brain damage is
Yeah.
coming.
It's a CTE farm. I
But
don't get it. It's not my thing.
It seems so bad for you to just. I mean,
100%.
obviously.
100% terrible for you.
Yeah. it's- I don't know about that.
I mean, they're concussed.
100%.
And then standing right back up there to get hit again.
Yeah, not
I mean,
good.
has there been a second impact syndrome case yet in Power Slap?
Power Slap's only been around for a couple of years.
Oh shit!
Dana's going to be paying money to like keep the studies away. It's like, no, we got to keep this going.
I
But-
just don't like it. I don't know why people like it,
There's
but
no
I do
skill.
watch it. If somebody sends me a video and I watch some guy get slap KO'd, I will watch it because I watched 2 hours or an hour of fucking dick operations last night.
Yeah. How do you feel about like bare knuckle?
That's different. I mean,
It's dangerous, but
it's
it's
dangerous.
Still,
it is skillful.
It's
It's,
you know,
like there's
primal.
guys that are really good at it, and guys that avoid being hit, and guys that are just really durable, and they make their mark in that. Like, look, if you could punch someone with regular gloves, why can't you punch someone bare knuckle? It's probably better for your brain because
Yeah.
you can't get hit as hard.
But
Slightly,
man,
They're
when
not
they
standing there just waiting for it.
you get a lot of
that
yeah,
connection though, when they hit and you don't have a glove on, you see
Blood.
them.
Yeah,
You see the shock it puts through you.
The noise Power Slap makes in real life is uncanny. It's weird. When you hear that in real life, it's like, I've never heard a noise like that before, and that was on somebody's face.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. And sometimes they get KO'd, and then their head slaps the table, and then they fall backwards stiff, and like
Combo.
I don't like it.
I felt weird. It's like watching a cockfight or something.
Exactly.
It's just-
Yeah. But hey, you sign up.
Yeah.
You want to do it. No one's forcing you. Do whatever you want. You want to ride bulls? Go ahead. You
Yeah.
want to flip bikes? Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, some people
You want
yeah.
to Evil Knievel your way through life?
After that, though, we got to meet Dana, and he hooked us up with the fight tickets.
Oh, nice.
I seen you, and then I was like, oh, this will be my chance. And afterward, we left our seats, and then we were going out, and then you immediately stood up and walked right in front of where I was sitting. So I was like, dang, I missed it
Joe
again.
Rogan. All right, is the White House thing?
Supposedly.
Yeah. There's a concert aspect to it.
Really?
We want to put our name in the bucket.
Is there really?
Supposedly.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Who's supposed to perform so far?
I don't think anybody yet.
Oh, I
We
didn't
wanna
even know there
perform.
was a concert aspect to it.
That's what we've heard. Our agents heard, at least.
Interesting. This is the first time I've heard of it. That makes sense, though.
Come play our sad music for.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Ruin everybody's buzz.
Emotional. It's emotional music. I don't think it's sad. It doesn't make me sad. Yeah, the White House thing's going to be nuts. But listen, man, that's June. That is so long from now. Who the fuck knows what's
Yeah.
going to happen in this wacky world between now and June? The aliens could have already landed.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the card, though.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it happens.
Well, he's going to try to put together the greatest card of all time. I know that. So they're going to try to get as many insane fights as they can.
Before people come jumping on us for that, it's like it'd be an honor to play at the White House, period, no matter who's in office.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to just being able to go and meet the president without being
It should be cool.
receiving? It should be a cool thing.
It shouldn't be polarized.
I'd like to meet Trump, but I'd also like to meet Obama. He seemed pretty dang cool.
That would be cool. Just going to the White House would be a big honor.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, hopefully you guys can.
Yeah, we'll see. Who cares?
Just keep kicking ass. You'll get there.
We'll see.
Less polarizing times by the time you get in there. But thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys
thanks
very
for having
much,
us.
and thanks for making awesome music.
Yeah,
It's been fun to meet you.
Awesome.
All right.
Good to meet you, bro. Great place, ladies and gentlemen. Hi.